And welcome to the Texas Classic Futurity Night. We are got you some incredible lineup here of 5 stakes races in all, building up to the grand finale, the $910,000 Texas Classic Futurity. This prestigious race has been a stage for champions since its inaugural running in 1993, when He's the Fast Man took home the title under John Bassett and jockey Henry Garcia. Long time ago in 1993. But this year, the morning line favorite at 7-5 is the number 5 FTD Dreams, trained by Xavier Rodriguez. And FTD Dreams comes in with an impressive credentials, finishing 3rd in this year's All-American Futurity. Rodriguez also brings the 3-horse Painted Escape, who was 4th in the All-American. So that being said, this is the stage up in a wide open race with plenty of exciting possibilities. And we'll be breaking it all down as the night unfolds. And let's get in Chris and Justin and Oldie. And guys, Oldie, is this just about FTD Dreams, who's 7-5 on the odds makers morning line, Oldie?
Well, Scotty, I know 4 things about this horse. Number 1, the E morning line hates it. Number 2, the picks hate it. Number 3, I hate it. And number 4, these are good money-making opportunities when you can find favorites you don't like. So, I look at FTD Dreams, who I want to call FTD Dreams, and I see a horse that its best win came against 64 SOR and has faced 66 SORs and didn't beat them. Just seems to be the type of horse that enjoys the second place position. The times are good but not great, and I think there's some other live horses here that you might find more value on.
And Justin, Michiavelli is our top selection, 12-1 on the odds makers morning line. Not only is our top selection, but it also has the top win percentage. What do you think of this 2-year-old?
Yeah, for Mr. Diaz, he has 2 here, Scotty. He's got the 6 and the 9. I think this is a great price, 9-1 outside post. I was looking at the trial times and came in 5th in the trial, right behind the stablemate DK Marnie Jess, the filly in here. Facing the boys as a 2-year-old filly, but I think Machiavelli has a massive shot, Scotty. I really do. I think Diaz with both of these horses, the 9 and the 6, we talked about both of them on Thursday. But Machiavelli, has won 3 of 4, ran really good in that Dash for Cash Futurity. Comes back here outside post, then in the center of the track mainly in the last few starts. So I think has a big shot at a good price, probably going to get around maybe 10-1. We'll have to wait and see.
Let's get out to race 6, guys.
All right, we got race number 6. Chris, can we turn up the volume on that?
Firing out of that one. Then comes Corona Cobra doing it just for fun. Gets up on the outside. You Look Famous was next.
189 in my pick 3 there. Cowboy. But I was hoping to get the 1.
So the one was the long shot, 11-1. That would have been nice. And the 8-horse winning the race, doing it just for fun?
Please hold all tickets until the results are official.
Yeah, 8-5.
Jim Byers is the race announcer making the call. There is 819, it looks like. 819 is your order of finish here in race number 6. Guys, we're going to have a special guest here with us shortly, probably in the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'd say. So you're going to want to tune in for that. And guys, this is something new we're trying, but it's exciting because there's 5 stakes races we're covering in all. It's a big night, obviously, for Lone Star Park. And so happy to have everybody with us. What up, Anthony, Leslie, Mike, and Alan, and Scott. And good to have you all on the show with us tonight. Chris, you're going to be manning the chat amongst other things as well, making sure the show is going smoothly. What's up, Wiz? You got the exacta? Oh, 8-1 exacta. That's nice.
Yeah. He picked Scotty 1, 2, 3, according to Alan.
Oh, that's right. That's right. 8 came in 1. No, I see 8, 1, 9. So yeah, there we go. All of the EquinEdge top picks. And then we've got obviously live streaming, and we'll have a few. There is an update too to share with you guys on a new show that we're going to be doing probably once a week. Hi, Bill. And so we'll share that with you shortly. Again, we're going to have a special guest here in probably the next 5 minutes, and somebody that can help us with these stakes races. So
as soon as this race goes official, Jim Byers will be joining us.
Jim Byers is gonna join us. So race caller, and he's been doing it a long, long time.
Back in the old Hollywood Park days.
Mhm.
Wait, was he the caller at Hollywood?
Yeah. When
He was.
I didn't know that.
When the exactas were $5.
Wait, what? They got to bring that back. Seriously?
$5
Oh,
yeah.
exactas.
That sounds
yeah.
amazing.
And Marge bucked the trend and made those $2 and freaked everybody out back in the day. But exactas were a $5 bet back in the day, man. And that's going back 25 years.
Scotty, I have a question. You talked about the show. Maybe there's a special show. There's a special guest. I'm wondering if you have a glass of Belvini or something. Like,
I'm gonna get it. I'm glad you reminded me. But that's gonna happen. You know, we're doing a night show. It reminds me, guys. Remember when we were doing the show? Sam Houston. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, since we stopped doing the show, I forgot the name. Sorry. You know, it was fun though. We had a really good time, and we only covered that track. Like, we could be covering Los Al, Remington Park, and I love Remington Park, but we're gonna give you detailed coverage of the of all 5 stakes races, highlighted by the futurity in race number 11. So. Yeah, they're. It is
back in the day at Arlington, we didn't have exactas; we had perfectas.
Oh, okay.
Did you have to bet them cold or what? What did that mean?
No, that's what exactas were called back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that exacta Lone Star paid 24 to 1. Alan said, "Yeah, that was nice."
Let's see here, guys. The trifecta for 50 cents paid $35.45.
I saw that. Yeah.
70 to 1, Scotty. 70 to 1.
Yeah, insane. So Jim is going to be joining us here shortly, and we're going to go over all 5 races. Of course, Jim has a lot of insight. Oldie and Justin, if you have any questions for Jim, that's great too. I used to chat with Jim when I was at TVG, and so he would come on and we would talk about the races over at Lone Star. You know, he was the race announcer at Remington Park for the longest time.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure was.
He's done a tour of duty around all those Midwest tracks. Did some Oaklawn, now at doing Lone Star, both quarter horses and thoroughbreds. But quality guy, quality caller.
Yeah, he is.
Not a lot of frills, just, you know, old school type stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people don't know, and I was reminded of this today, and that is that we crush quarter horses here. Like, our pace number is insane, but like, it's so accurate. Like, if you look at Los Alamitos, or if you're into quarter horses, you've come to the right place. So hopefully they are hot tonight, but quarter horse races we do very well. In fact, I would argue with you that pace number is valuable as anything we would use. Look at you guys. Did you see that the pace number on the 1 horse who got second and paid $9 was a 92? The 9 horse was an 83, and it is a bit of a drop to the 8 horse at 73. But you can usually find some winners there with. All
right. Scotty, let me bring Jim in real quick and do the quick intro to you.
All right.
Track announcer Jim Byers, Lone Star Park, Texas champion night. Welcome to the program. Happy to have you on.
All right. It's a pleasure to be here. Our internet, or my internet at least, is a little dodgy, so we'll hope we stay together here.
Hey, Jimmy, how are you? It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. Good to see you again. Good to see everybody, and good night so far. Fast times here. You know, we've broken a few track records lately, including, of course, FTD Dreams, the track record holder in the futurity, broke the track record in his trial, but it might not be surprising to see. We've already had one track record lowered in an undercard race tonight.
So well, hopefully we can continue on that. Well, what do you make of that? Is there, or you think that these horses are just solid, or is the track playing fast?
Oh, I mean, the track's been a little fast. It's been very dry for the most part. We caught a bit of rain here a couple of weeks ago. It's been a dry surface. It's been a good surface, fair surface. It's just produced a lot of fast times. In fact, there's even last night and tonight, we've seen some fast times. I was just peeking at the flags. We have a little bit of a headwind. So it's not like we got a big wind sweeping down the plain. It's just been a glib track.
So I have a question for you, and then we're going to get on to handicapping these races. But I was doing some reading, and I was looking, and you had at Remington Park, which you were the race caller for a long, long time. In 1988, you called an unforgettable head-to-head matchup between Clever Trevor and Proper Reality. What do you remember about that day? Go ahead, Jimmy.
I think you might have froze.
You there, Jim?
We've got a internet issue. He should be coming back here in a
second. You know what that looks like? That looks like the little thing on Netflix last night when you were trying to watch the Tyson fight.
Drove me nuts.
It sure does. I really wanted to hear from Jim on this. You guys should look that up. But Jim did a head-to-head showdown call with Clever Trevor and Proper Reality, and it was so good. And if you get a chance to watch that video, it's so good. Hopefully we can get
anything like the wives video with
that's fantastic over at Monmouth Park. You remember that one? Mm-hmm. My wife knows everything, and the other one was my wife knows nothing, or something like that, going head to head down the stretch. Oh, it was just insane. Such a great call. Yeah. That's one of the more famous ones.
We'll wait.
That really is.
But
so race number 7, guys. We'll wait for Jimmy to come back. But race number 7, we talked about this. We talked about this one, Justin, on the weekend preview show. But favorite MVPZ really does look tough to me. 39% to win with the scratches. And I only like the 6 and the 7. I'm all over the 7 favorite MVP. If this horse breaks good, I think this horse is gone.
Well, 6 scratched, so you really only like the 7 then?
Yeah, all over the 7 now that the 6 is scratched.
I was bummed to see the 6 scratch. That was Scotty. We talked a lot about that horse. I thought that, you know, being in the middle of the track, it broke slow, might be a false favorite. So, you know, the horse that I put on top here that I wanted to talk to him about was Fast Flyer. I do think favorite MVP Z, Scotty, is for sure the real deal. But Juan Diaz has the 10 and the outside post. And for my exacta, this is the horse I'm putting in with the 7 horse. 1-3 back in the main special, 1-2 good futurities. But this is second time Diaz. He is the top trainer out there at Lone Star from Earned Money. Hits just a lot of winners. He has Urida up, which he uses 2 predominant jocks. This is one of them. You know, ran really well in a 60, you know, and is, you know, 1 for 5. So has a big shot here.
So the oldie, the 7 horse favorite MVPZ is trained by Toby Keaton. And Toby Keaton has 4 horses in here. I don't know if you know this, but he won the All-American Futurity last year with Whiskey Creek. And he's just a solid trainer. And we've got him all night long. And also Juan Diaz, who's just tremendous as well. So watch the jockey trainer combinations. He's taken jockeys that are 13%, 12%, becoming 30% jockey trainer combinations. Like these two, Toby Keaton and Juan Diaz are the trainers to watch tonight, in my opinion.
Well, look at the 8 horse, though, Louisiana Mystery, where he's 0 for 8 with that jockey. So
Yes.
that's an easy, and the jockey on the 7 gets off the 8 to ride the 7.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, there. I mean, that horse is still a maiden, and you've got a horse like the 7 horse. I also think that the 1 horse, Valiant Painted Sign, Justin. Tell me what you think about this one. This is an interesting horse, also for Toby Keaton, who and the EquinEdge second pick, but is off a layoff. Last time out, broke 9th against similar horses, but the horse is lightly raced, so there could be some upside with the 1 horse. And Polito stays. Polito was on the 3 horse last time out and sticks with the 1. I have a feeling that this horse might run good. And I'll tell you another thing. It's a good place to be on the rail over at Lone Star Park, as well as the outside post. You want one of those two, and you're looking pretty good.
1 horse, a maiden, drops in here versus this group. But I would say, out of all the stakes races we're covering tonight, I thought that this one might have been, didn't have as much flair as some of the others. We have some big horses in some of these other races that have just been huge standouts, and we'll talk about them later. But I think the one has a shot, maybe underneath. I think it's nice that horse shows up as the EquinEdge or the second Scotty pick as well. It is top GSR, Scotty, on the 1 horse. So. This horse is bred well, even though it's a maiden. Is taking money. Looks like bet down to 10-1 off a 30-1 morning line. We did have a couple scratches, but I think for sure is a player here.
Oldie, Keaton's got another one here with the 4 horse, who's actually the 7-5 favorite. This horse was second in its first lifetime race in the maiden special weight, and then went into a trial and actually won that race in what appears to be a little bit of a slow time, though. But I'm just, and it hasn't been seen since June. Are you a little surprised to see this horse as your favorite at 6-5 now?
No, so well, I'm a little surprised that it's the favorite, but it was my second choice here, so I'm not shocked at all. And actually, on your thought of the times, there's only 2 horses in this race at 400 yards that have broken the 20-second mark, and that's the 7 and the 4, and those are the only 2 horses getting bet right now.
Yeah, it was a tailwind. One of the that night, it was a tailwind of 7, and I thought that sped up the times. But yeah, you're right. You're correct.
Just heard back from Jim via text. He's having trouble with signal. He'll try and jump on after race 7 here, but he's going to try after the 7th race to pop back on with us. So I'll look for him there, but you guys can continue on.
Thank you, Chris. Oldie, so who is your top play in here?
So favorite MVPZ is my top choice here. I'm singled there in the pick 3. And, I look at this horse as, it ran some pretty impressive times into headwinds and a crosswind there at 400 yards, even though it didn't win that Dash for Cash. That 1983, when you break 9th, that seems like a pretty quick time for me for this group.
Yeah.
And if you're getting 5-2.
Guess we'll take a look at the race sim for this race.
Sure.
All right, here we go. Let's pop over the race simulator. Play this here.
Chris, sort that by post position, would you please?
Okay.
There we go.
We'll do that one more time. Quarter horse races are quick, so we can do this.
So one of the things that I've seen with the race simulator, you guys, is that when a horse is in the lead at the stretch and then it's in the lead at the finish, those horses are awfully tough to beat. Pick 6 starts in this race. I'm not going to play a pick 6. I am going to play a pick 5, which starts in the next race. So I imagine we'll cover that. What's up, Deb Martin? I imagine we'll cover that. But so I think the 7 is extra strong in here. That was a much better field last time out, going the same distance than what's lined up here. And that horse broke last and only lost by 3/4 of a length. It was a pretty big effort.
Yeah, gets favorite MVP Z gets the drop here, Scotty. Vivanco, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's a legit jock here at Lone Star. He rides with the best of them. It looks like I was looking at many of the jocks here who ride, and he definitely gets his fair share of wins. I believe he's either third or fourth currently in he's third. He's third in wins in the meet currently. So I think he's live. I like the pairing though with the 10. Taking a little bit of money at 7-1 with the 7. So but favorite MVP Z, I think Scotty with the scratch of the 6. I do agree with you. I think will be tough, but I like the 10 on top to slightly beat the 7.
Chris, I think they're on the track. So
Yep,
I think
let me get you over there.
so we'll do the post parade here with these horses. There we go. And the first one that's going to be turning around there for you is the 1 horse Valiant Painted Sign. And that's for Toby Keaton. Looks very, very nice for a maiden, guys. Pulido stays aboard off the 3 horse. The jockey trainer combinations, 29% for Darling Farms. There's a look at Juan Pulido. There's a look at the 2 horse. Guys, the 2 horse to me was interesting. It broke its maiden last time out. And I didn't think this horse was impossible. It's got a bit of a low GSR. It is getting bet. It is the EquinEdge long shot. There's the 3 Mystery Kisser, who loses Pulido after winning and breaking its maiden last time out. This 2-year-old gelding by Kiss My Hawks, currently at 10-1. There's the 4 horse Lotta Big Love, who's 6-5 right now. Certainly looks fantastic on the track. Mahomes Stone. Wendy Garcia is the trainer. Modesto Pina is aboard. Currently 23-1, 45-1 on the EE Morning line. There's your favorite MVP Z. Oldie, like this horse a lot. Vivanco's aboard for Toby Keaton. There's the 8 horse Louisiana Mystery. Not the worst looking long shot in the world. Still a maiden after 5 lifetime races. Another one for Toby Keaton. Ramirez is aboard. And on the outside, here's the horse Justin likes. Fast Flyer 1, 2, 3. And this horse got second in the trial last time out on 9:14. Didn't qualify for Juan Diaz. Is in this race here in the juvenile. And this race has 7 minutes before the race. 2-year-olds, $48,000 purse. This is the Texas Classic Juvenile Stakes. They're going 400 yards. And, a lot of times, guys, some of these younger horses, they don't want to go 400 yards. They're better, 250, 300, 350. So it usually is a sign of class for some of these horses that want to go long. And but the 7 horse, I mean, what did you think, Goldie? You like what you saw with the 7 horse on the track?
Yeah, I think the 7 horse looks strong. I also like what I saw the 10 horse a little bit as well. So I might do a Justin Oldie Scotty exacta here with the 7 and the 10.
One thing I think about Lone Star, which is kind of different than Los Alamitos, where at low style, the outside post really has a huge advantage. And I think here, following Lone Star for a number of years, I think it's a lot more fair in terms of outside to inside, in terms of the post positions. Obviously, with quarter horse racing, outside is always a little bit better, but I think it's a little bit fairer here than it is like at Los Alamitos. What are your thoughts on that, Scott?
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree with you, Chris. By the way, I think we've isolated, guys. I think we've isolated the long shots in this race. The 1 horse is 16%, currently 11-1, and the 10 horse that Justin likes, Fast Flyer. And again, it's a good place to be on the rail and a good place to be on the outside, especially if you're a fast breaker and you get in the race early. And so the 4 horse at 6-5, guys. For me, the horse is 9%, 6-1 EE Morning line. Like, I would have thought there would have been at least one metric that would have been pointing towards this horse. I really do think this has got to be a horse, win or lose, that we have to try to beat. I mean, it's 91% chance of losing. We're really going to play this horse? Like, for me, it's not a bet whatsoever. The EquinEdge long shot is interesting, but I think like what would be a good play, like 1-7-10 exacta box, something like that.
So Anthony's got a stat here. No horse breaking the 4 hole has hit the board yet. Let's see what happens. I do like the 10 moving forward into the track.
Yeah, I think he's saying with the two scratches of the 6 and 9, the 10 gets still outside post. But Scotty, the 4 has also just broke its maiden. It did break its maiden in a futurity trial, so kudos there. It was only a 54, but that's a big step off the maiden win. And it's in my opinion, there's some other legit horses here, but either connections or somebody knows something. That horse taking a lot of money at 3-2.
Well, and Keaton's got 4 horses here. Please explain to me how he's got Polito's a 16% jockey. Candenosa on the 4 horse is a 13% jockey, and Vivanco's a 15% jockey on the 7 horse. And they're 29%, 30%, and 32% jockey trainer combination. I mean, it's insane with each one of them. He just is such a good trainer, but he's only 16%. I'm having a hard time trying to understand. So when he just uses each one of those 3 jockeys, he just wins. And then Ramirez is aboard, and Ramirez is a 15% jockey, and he's 0 for 8. It's very interesting. But when you look at the jockey trainer combination with the 1 horse in Polito and Keaton, I mean, you've got value right there right now. This the 1 horse is, I think, 12-1 or 13-1. So.
I think you're getting value.
How about? Go ahead, Oli.
I think you're getting value on a 7-8 double right now too.
Let's see here.
Into the next, you're getting about 6.5 to 1 right now.
I'm showing 3-1.
I was showing.
Oh,
let's see if
I see.
changed.
No, you're yeah. I think
7-1 is what I'm seeing.
Well, the 7 guys is the favorite in the current wheel pace on the double by a large margin over the 4. And when you look at the odds on the 4 at 9-5, the 7 now at 7-5, and you look at what the wheel pace are, it's 1480. It's a big jump to the 4.
But
just look at the 2.
Yeah, the daily double and the pick 4, the pick 3, the 7 horse dominates all those. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How would you bet this, you guys? What's the best way to play this? I mean, right now the 7 is the favorite at 7-5, so the late money is going on the 7.
I'm playing a 7-8 double into the next, and I also played a wider pick 3 where I singled the 7 here. Those were my 2 bets, and then I'm going to play an exacta with the 7 and 10.
Oldie, you want to share your ticket for your pick 3?
Sure. Let me reset it because I just think I just undid it. And of course, I'm spinning right now too. So give me a sec here.
Okay.
Come on.
Getting close to the gate here for Lone Star Park Race 7, the Texas Classic Juvenile Stakes.
All right. So it looks like I'm going to have to read you my ticket here. It is.
I agree, Alan. I don't even think this is a 66 group. It's one of the reasons why I like the 7 horse so much. I saw that as well. I thought, this does not seem like that tough of a group. If you think about it, like this horse just lost the Dash for Cash Juvenile on October 5th, you guys. Broke 9th against the 72 SOR group and barely lost. With a good break, this horse has to win this race, right? But all right, you want to put the volume up and let's let's see this race, Chris.
Yep, I will get you right there in just a hot second.
Favorite MVPZ currently at 6-5. Just outside of him is Louisiana Mystery. It's going to look like the whole Toby Keaton barn is coming at us here as his red silks with the white sleeves on half of the 8 horses in this spot. Mahomes Stone is in. The last in will be a lot of big love.
Here we go. Good luck, everybody.
They're in the gate. Little Anciness. 400 yards, track fast. A lot of big love, a Little Ancy now. They're off in the Texas Classic Juvenile. And right on the inside, Valiant Painted Sign came out well. A lot of big love is running a huge one. A lot of big love drifting out but taking the lead. Then comes Mystery Kisser, Valiant Painted Sign on the inside. Louisiana Mystery. Here they come to the finish with a lot of big love winning the Juvenile.
Yeah, 7 didn't run at all.
Well, it got destroyed at the break.
Yeah, got hammered at the break. And the 4-horse, a lot of big love. The Connections knew that horse was ready to run first time out. Let's take another look at the start of the 7-horse, and you'll see it gets squeezed, I believe, by the 8 who comes in. And I thought the 4 was a little rank in the gate there for a moment, but settled down and had a
lot of big
Oh,
pretty
love
decent break.
first.
3 broke on
Second,
top, but
2,
7
2,
was
2,
out of
2,
the race
2.
right here. But although right here is clear, didn't
Third
have
number
enough horse.
3,
So I'm not
Mystery
even
Kisser.
sure we can make an excuse for that 7, guys.
No,
Fourth,
I think the
number
4
8,
was much the
Louisiana
best.
Mystery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
On a 15,
Clear break.
2, 3, 8.
No issues out of the
Time
gate.
19.9.
Easily into stride and then moving on.
And the 7 ended up going off as your favorite in the race. And but a
Mhm.
lot of big love gets the win in this race. And the EquinEdge long shot nipped the 3-horse for second. So 7-2-3 is your order finish here in the 7th race in the Texas Classic Juvenile Stakes.
Yep.
All right. Maybe we can get Jim on here. Guys, I'm going to real quickly go get myself a bourbon. I'll be right back.
All right. We're going to get the next race up here. Lone Star Park Race 8. Let me get this on the screen here. There we go. Lone Star Park Race 8. We got Billy's 3-year-olds going for $250,000. And they are running 400 yards. Justin, Oli, which one of you want to attack this one first?
Yeah, this is a good one. The Purina feeds, from a trial perspective, especially good candy, Chris, just stands out, to be honest. She actually ran in the Texas Classic for charity for Mr. Trey Wood last year, actually, as a 2-year-old filly. So similar path to another horse we'll talk about later. But Ricky Rides, that's Wood's go-to rider. They have won a lot of big races together. She looks like the real deal, to be honest, Chris. Scotty and I talked about her last week, earlier in the week on Thursday. So that's who I had on top. Oldie, it sounded like that's the same route you went when you were speaking to the doubles, but go ahead.
No, I agree that the 8 looks to be a cut above. My biggest concern is that the 7 has some gait issues and broke out last time and is sitting right to the inside of the 8.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, go ahead.
That's the biggest concern I have is does the 7 take the 8 out of the race at the break?
I mean, the 7.
No, I don't think so. The 8's too fast. The Ace too fast early, guys. I watched the video of this last race on 1026, and especially Good Candy is a really nice horse. I don't know how good Asher is going to be or is, to be honest with you. She had 7 wins in 15 starts, but so Asher broke out of the gate pretty good. But Asher isn't normally a great breaker, not a terrible, but Asher has talent. The mom was a grade 1 winner. She seems to be getting better. Junger says she's peaking at the right time. From that 8 post too, especially, there's nobody in the outside of her that's as fast as her. She's a really good breaker for Trey Wood. I mean, I think she's gonna be tough to beat in here. But the 2 horse and the 7 horse Flying Sophia really aren't that great of breakers. So that helps her. And both Deep Blue and Flying Sophia, by the way, are really nice horses, and they deserve to be talked about in this race. But especially Good Candy is reliable to break good and super fast. And just about when Deep Blue and Flying Sophia were getting going in that last race, the wire had already hit.
Makes sense.
Don't disagree with that. Deep Blue, the long shot here, won 3 in a row back in 4 or 5 months ago, and had a bit of a break here since August to October. Trainer here, 14% off the layoff. I'm hesitant to ask Goldie, what do you make of this? But always got to look at the Scotty Longshot in these quarter horse races for sure. Winner of 5 out of 10 with 2 seconds and a third. Any thoughts on this one, guys?
To me, this horse, the question on this horse is, can it get out of the gate?
Yeah.
Because if it gets out of the gate, it has very fast times when it's gotten out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
And, that 1956 at Remington wins this race.
Yeah, what do you think, Justin?
Yeah, deep blue underneath for me. But I think the price is right. Rivera rides for Steinbaugh, and somebody in the chat earlier talked about Steinbaugh, but these two are no joke. Rivera, current, I believe, leading rider at the meet for wins. He has been hot, rides with this group. Steinbaugh's leading trainer, up there with Diaz, 2 of them. So Deep Blue for sure would be my play, with especially Good Candy, Scotty, and especially at that price, getting over 10-1. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Looks like we got Jim back. Let me bring him back in. Hello, Jim. How are you doing?
Good. Let's see if we can get it a couple of minutes in here before we get busy or cut off again.
All right.
Well, it sounds like your internet's better, Jim. I did have a question for you, though. You did a match race in 1988 at Remington Park. And what do you remember about that match race?
Was it Normie Thomas's horse, Daryl?
It wasn't Daryl. Let me see.
Was it a quarter horse in a
it was
Thoroughbred?
you know what it was? It was Clever Trevor and Proper Reality.
Is that right? Clever Trevor?
Yeah, Clever Trevor and Proper Reality. It was in 1988. But all I know is it had a lot of buzz in that race. And
Clever Trevor would have been a 2-year-old in 88. I don't remember that it was a match race, but he, of course, won the first Remington Derby in 89, wound up running in both the Kentucky Derby and the Travers. Don't particularly remember a match race. We ran some gimmicky quarter horse thoroughbred races later on, and I think one of those was a match race. And I've called a couple of unintentional match races where the field scratched down to just 2 horses.
Yeah.
But Clever Trevor in 88, though, I mean, he came on the scene in that very first Remington meet. He was very special. He was an Oklahoma bred. He lived with the Donnie Von Hemel Ranch that wasn't far from the track. It was a great story to help put Remington on the map. I don't remember a lot about the race with proper reality, though. I must admit.
Yeah, no, well, it's been a while ago, and then before we get to handicapping these last 4 races, I was thinking about this, that how the heck in 15 to 20 seconds do you remember the names of anywhere from 10 to 12 horses? How do you do that?
Well, I'm gonna say in quarter horse racing, you try to learn them, and in these big races, I will sight recognize. But in quarter horse racing, you have to peek at your program. You don't do a lot of program peeking and thoroughbred calling, but the nature of quarter horse racing is it's all adrenaline and it's so fast, and you can't risk saying the wrong name. So you're peeking at the lanes and at your program and making sure you got it right. Now, in the big race tonight, the biggest race with FDD Dreams, I'm going to know him and probably be focusing on him at the start, to be honest. But you try to learn them as best you can. But in this sport, you kind of take them in their lanes and bring them home.
All right. Well, we're going to be betting a pick 5 in this race, and let's talk about this. Let's go to the 8th race and talk about this $250,000 Purina Feeds Texas Classic Oak Stakes. Now, of course, Especially Good Candy is super fast out of the gate, and that's a great asset, and also has some stamina. But you can't ignore horses like Deep Blue, Asher, and Flying Sophia. What do you think about this race?
I really thought, looking at it going in, like, as good a mare as Flying Sophia is, and I mean, she's a filly actually. She's won half her starts and won 321,000. I actually picked her in the trial for this to try to beat Especially Good Candy. That proved to be a very unwise pick. I really think it's a 2 filly race between Asher and Especially Good Candy. As I see it, Especially Good Candy never felt the crop last time, was very handily ridden by Ricky Ramirez. I think he knew the kind of filly he had under her and knew that if she ran her race, which she did, she'd qualify. Until she loses, I just can't get off her bandwagon. But Asher has had, as you can see in the PPs, issues loading. She is a wonderfully talented filly, but there's just always that little fear that maybe she leaves her race in the gate. I think they're basically even, though, on talent, but I really think it's down to those two. But so far tonight, favorites haven't done all that well. So, in that last race, I didn't see an excuse for favorite MVPZ, and
No.
He struggled home about next to last. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I felt the same way. I know Jungers is very confident when it comes to Asher. Really likes this horse, thinks the horse is coming up good to the race. So Asher just needs to break well.
Yeah, if she does, she's really, really fast. She's really come to hand well for him this fall.
And how do you use a horse like Deep Blue is a very talented horse as well, Jimmy? Like, I mean, this horse just needs, the last couple of races broke bad and had a couple of layoff lines from June and August, but Deep Blue is very talented and didn't run a bad race, considering that she broke bad in the trial.
Yeah, and against those two that she faced, Flying Sophia and Especially Good Candy, you have to be completely on your game to compete with them. I have her as a 4th selection too, as someone to consider, because it doesn't hurt to be drawn toward the inside here. I don't think there's a particular advantage. Track bias wise, I don't see it, but it doesn't hurt to be drawn inside here. So I love the post position. The connections are very hot. And so, yeah, what's not to like? She won an open grade 2 at Remington, the Heritage Place Oaks, one of the tougher races in this region to win.
Well, and I was going to ask you that. How do you judge some of the horses coming from Albuquerque, Ruidoso, or coming from Remington Park and then coming here to Lone Star? How do you judge those different tracks?
I think they're pretty. I think they're fairly comparable. I put a lot of stock in that Remington meet. It's a long meet. It's a tough meet. The New Mexico meet's very tough as well. I kind of put them 1 and 1A as premier meets. We get a lot of those horses coming here in the fall as well. But some horses have had long campaigns and don't all come here. But both terrific meets. I think sometimes people overlook a little the early spring races because it's been a few months, and the Ruidoso races are fresher on our minds here for this meet at Lone Star. But those races at Remington are really tough to beat. They favor the horses who maybe like it a little bit cooler or like a little bit lower altitude.
Yeah. And then, all right, let's Chris, let's get on to race number 9 and talk about this. So, or race number 8, or race number 9. Yeah, excuse me. So is Visa, I want to really like Visa, but I'm having a hard time. It's a 3-year-old facing older, but it is at the end of the year. If you throw out the last race, this horse has burned a lot of money, though. You can throw out the last race for sure, but the horse has burned a lot of money in the last 4 races. So can we trust this horse?
I think so. He has burned some money, but I mean, he's been burning it to Dashing Trace, who's already a millionaire and is a legitimate superstar, 7 for 10. I don't mind so much in this sport versus Thoroughbreds, a horse that's like second ahead, second a neck, second a nose, because they're just going all out so hard.
That's
and sometimes they're blinkered up. They don't even realize they're not winning. So in his case, I mean, I've got him on top. He had like a 4-leg stumble last time in the trial. I mean, it was just his whole body lowered from the stumble. So throw that out. And I mean, he's in the All-American Derby, which I think is one of the great races in the sport, running competitively against some of his mates. Toby Keaton's 3-year-old barn is just incredible with the likes of Dashing Trace and whatnot. So I think he can win. KJ Desperado, question mark whether he's had his absolute prime. He could be a little touch past it, but he just loves this racetrack. He's a Jet 1 is the one I'd like to mention, as I'm going to need to leave here in a moment for the post parade, but he's a Jet 1 Texas bred. He rules the Texas breds down here, but the thing about him, he seems to know where the wire is, and he's going to love 440. And I would not overlook he's a Jet 1 in that race. But I do like Visa. The one time he has faced older horses, he beat an allowance field at Houston back in the spring. So I think it might be his time. We'll see.
All right, Jimmy, I know you've got to do this. I know you need to do that. If you can come back and we can cover the last couple of races, if that's possible, that would be great.
Okay, we'll see if we can do that right after this race.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Jim. All right, so Jim Byers about to do the race call for this race number 8, and as they're about to come onto the track, and Jim, one of the really good guys. In fact, he went to San Diego State, guys, and he was there, going there right at the time I actually was living in San Diego, and he's done a lot of things. He's done race calls over at Hollywood Park. We talked about that before the show. He was an announcer for hockey. Like he's very well rounded.
No, Private Ross. It's a different speller. He is not Andy Byers' brother.
Guys, how are we gonna? Okay, should we do a pick 5? Chris, you want to do a pick 5?
Sure, Scotty. You want to do a pick 5? We got the.
How about we do a pick 5? You guys, you want to do it for? How about we do it for $120?
You want to go back to EquinEdge, or you want to do the post parade? Which one? Where do you want to go?
Actually, let's do the post parade first, and then we'll. No, you know what? Don't do the post parade. Let's do the pick 5.
Okay.
So race number 8, Chris.
Yeah, I've got a
Are we having issue? Are we having issues there?
I had a red screen there.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Let me refresh. Yeah, having a small issue. There we go. Pick 5.
You got it? All right.
120?
120. Yep.
There you go. That's what the ticket generator says.
I'm with the ticket generator, by the way.
It looks like you might have some picks in there, Chris.
Let me.
Oh yeah, I think you locked that, Chris.
Yeah.
So guys, Justin, Oldie, sorry, we're having a little bit of technical issues, guys, but we're trying. But did you would you consider singling the 7, or do you not think the 7 is a single?
In this race, no.
The 8. I apologize.
So Justin, I don't know your thoughts on it, but I think the 8 could be a single. For me, the two I like are the 8 and the 2. So if I have to choose, I'll choose the 8 because the form's just better.
So I looked at that 5 horse, Anthony, as well. And it's just really hard for me to get down with a horse that, won a grade 3 and then goes in an allowance race first off the layoff. No doubt about it. I get it. And then comes back here. I don't know that the race simulator had that horse pretty close. I don't think it's impossible. I can understand.
I think she's a single, Scotty. I mean, she ran second last year in the Texas Classic Futurity, which we're going to cover in race 11, as a 2-year-old filly.
Yeah.
And then she ran her trial, and then she went and won the All-American Oaks over at Albuquerque. The Texas Classic Futurity last year was an 88 strength of race. And then the All-American Oaks was a 78. I think she's the real deal.
Who's our best single, though? That's the thing, right? Like, isn't
to me, it's her.
Right? Like, if you look at all 5 races, guys, like I'm looking at like the 12th race looks wide open. I know that we're not necessarily covering that. Maybe we'll stick around if we're doing well in the pick 5. But like, where's the single? The single's not in the 11th race, I don't think. It looks really wide open. Like, where would the single come from if it doesn't come from especially good candy here?
I think that the other spot that maybe you'll find a single is race 10.
Okay.
And I think that you got to take a close look at that 2 horse.
Relentless Eagle, who's rattled off 3 straight races.
And for some reason isn't in the top picks, but it has terrific times.
Yeah. I mean, it's right there. Well, is right there in the race simulator.
Cowboy in that race.
Yeah, I like Fire Cowboy a lot as well. 10 wins, but the race is wide open, no question. But if you look, 10 wins in 14 races for Fire Cowboy, it doesn't have a ton of class, but but has earned a lot of money. And Shoeless is a horse, the 6 horse, you can't ignore as well. I mean, I think singling the 2 horse would take a lot of balls. 9-2 on the EE morning line as well. The Shoeless is 9-5 EE morning line. I mean, I think the race is between the 2, 5, 6, and 7. I don't know. I think I would try to convince you guys to single the 8. I love it. The 8's just reliable to break good and run good. She's rattled off 3 races. I did watch the video of the race. Here's what I saw. Deep Blue, the 2, and the 7 horse Flying Sophia were both in that last race. And even if they broke good, they were never beating her because she's that fast early. She's really that fast, and she has stamina. Asher, I can't speak to. I did watch the video, and she's a very nice horse, but even Jim said she's a little antsy, right? So maybe that's our hedge to single the 8 horse. But again, I'm not trying to control the dialogue. I think that I came away in all 5 of these races feeling like this was the best single, but that's just me.
All right. Jim just sent me a text. He will pop on after the 8th race is official.
Okay.
I'm going to go with what Jim was talking about and just a win bet on the 5 horse Asher here. But we are 3 minutes to post. So where do you guys want to narrow?
I think you're narrowing here. I recommend here. I think you single the 8.
I do.
Okay.
I do too. Oldie, is that right?
I think it's the best single.
I'm good with whatever you guys decide.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where else we would single. I think for me, it's the best single we can do. So all right, 8. And then is there anybody we're missing, guys? I don't know about the last race because I didn't even handicap the last race. But is there anything we're missing here?
I don't think so, no.
You guys all good with the 1-2-4-9 in leg 2 and the 2-6-7 in leg 3. You're missing Dollar Bill if you're a Billions fan, one of my favorite characters in that show, Dollar Bill, one last out, 8 for 15. So certainly one that always kind of hits the board. And when you go and look to the penultimate leg, you got a pretty good spread here. You're only missing 2 horses, a 4-1 and a 30-1. Any danger leaving the 4 off here?
No.
Okay. And then you've got a maiden special weight 2-year-olds at 350 yards in the last. And you're only one you're missing. Or you got one first-time starter you got, and the 10 horse is the other first-time starter. Always dangerous with those two, not including a first-time starter. And look at the trainer here, 35% out of 17 horses not on the ticket.
I think singling the 8 and let the 120 is plenty big enough, and then let the chips fall where they may.
All right.
All right, so that's the ticket.
Picture of that, and keep that for reference. And
All
we're
right.
going to get out to the track.
So there's a look at the 7 horse in the race, and that's Flying Sophia. She faced the especially good Candy, the 8 horse last time out, who's now even money. She faced her and she ran good, but she broke a little bit slow. I'm sure she's capable of breaking faster, but honestly, she's right next to the 8 horse, who's a super fast breaker, guys. Oldie, I mean, especially Candy is just such a good breaker. Like she was so fast. I was super impressed with her race. And I think that when you're right next to the favorite who's super fast early, I think that affects you a little bit. What do you think?
Well, I'm concerned, and I mentioned this to you, and this is why I'd be looking for a second horse to use. The 7 has some gait issues and is right to the inside of the 8. So, the other horse I think is worth a risk is Deep Blue at that price at 9-1.
I love the odds. I agree. Like in the exotics, for me, everybody, an 8 over the 2, 5, and 7 trifecta.
7-2 on
That's
both
what I think.
Asher and
All right, here we
Flying
go. This is
Sophia.
the $250,000 Purina Feeds Texas
Sophia's
Classic
in.
Oak
So the
Stakes
outside 4
for
are
3-year-olds. They're going
in.
400
They're
yards.
taking Famous
And this is a good
Tools
race,
forward.
everybody.
Mhm.
Big race.
Not yet, though. Hold
And
on. They're trying to take Asher forward.
thank you, Crypto. Appreciate that.
Asher sometimes.
All right,
requires
half the
Field
extra
is loaded
attention
into the
to get
gate.
what
There's
she
the
is
1
getting here.
horse about to go in.
The inside 3 have
Princess
yet to load. In
Selena,
fact,
33-1.
inside 4.
But especially good Candy's even money. Is Oldie, is that horse worth a win bet at
Asher's
even money
giving
or
it a
no?
little tussle back
At
the lead.
1-1, yes.
The rider's going to hop off.
And you might want to
Riderless.
consider maybe a pick 3 here, where you single that horse to the
She has a history of this.
267
so
in the
necessarily
race
out of
time. You can do
character
it for
her to
about
be
$8
reluctant to
here,
load.
$6 to $8 on a pick 3 too.
She's 3-1.
And
Flying
Justin,
Sophia,
if you're doing an
Currently even
exacta
money on
box
especially good
and you're
Candy.
keying the 8 horse, let's just say in the first and second spots, how are you playing that exacta?
Only with the 2. I play A2 cold. I wouldn't even box it. I think 8's. I think she's just too good, man. I don't think I would box at that price,
In
Scotty.
goes Princess Selena.
I would try.
the
If I wanted
inside,
another horse, I'd probably
Country
add the 5
Chick.
and 7. I like your
Deep
trifecta.
Blue.
8 over
the last good
257
load,
over
AJ
257.
Goldhart, and then
You know,
Famous
the
Tools.
7 horse Flying Sophia is the top win
These fillies
percentage,
will go
guys, at
400 yards.
33%. You're getting
Track
4-1
fast,
right now.
beautiful night
That's
for
tremendous
racing here in
value.
Grand Prairie, the final night of this meet.
And she's been 3 first place finishes and
Tools
2
comes
second place
forward.
finishes in 5 tries going 400
in the
yards
gate.
on the dirt. Here we go.
Good luck, everybody. I'm on the 5.
And they're off. Good enough start for especially good Candy.
And
A
look at
rocket
the
start for
7.
Princess
Flying
Selena on
Sophia
the
broke
inside.
great.
Asher is right there, in and among them and driving to the lead now.
Wow.
And then Flying Sophia way down the center. She's snaky. Asher in unbelievable form comes to the wire
5
at the lead in the
rounds.
Purina Feeds Texas Classic
Yep.
Oaks.
Wow.
She's
And
snaky up for
she's
second.
snaky on the outside. Guys, I don't know what it is about that outside post. Did you bet that, Chris? Chris got that. He's happy about that.
Yeah, that was his
Yeah,
call.
Jim kind of called that. I don't know
Yes,
what it
he
is
did.
about that outside post. That outside post seems to do so well, and you get prices. Wiz is happy about that result. Yeah, Jim kind of alluded to the 5 horse. I got a little thrown off by it. Jungers had said that she seems to be
5,
getting
10 in a
better
photo
and
here. 5.
peaking
Asher
at the
was
right
first.
time. So
10.
that
she's
she did.
Snaky second. Photo for the show. Please hold all tickets. The
She's
time,
I couldn't see it, guys. How does
1:7:69.
tell me when you look at She's Snaky how you could have ever predicted that? I don't know. But besides the 10 post, is the 10. Oh, by the way, guess who the trainer is of the 10?
Jungers.
It's Jungers.
So he just hit the
Yeah,
exact.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did Ross Ross call that exacta? I don't remember seeing that. Did he? Anthony's
Yeah,
happy about
he did.
that.
He did.
Did he call that?
Yeah, he did earlier.
8. Especially good Candy was third.
Wow, nice call,
Wow.
Ross.
7. Flying Sophia.
That's a hell of a call. I don't know, Justin. If you look at the 10 horse right now for us, can you please explain to me where that effort came from and how that horse got second?
I mean, I can't. The only thing I would say is, I mean, did run, obviously was able to qualify here, Scotty. And, when you look there, so she was the 9th qualifier. So, and then when you go 3 back in her other trial, she did make the All-American Oaks. So, I mean, I think my main, and Junger's obviously a good trainer. I mean, she looked to have a little talent. I mean, she has a couple good seconds, but versus that group, she ran her mind out.
When you
that
say
was a great run.
no disrespect at all to Jungers, but Jungers is a 10% trainer that just got the exacta in a $250,000 Oaks Stakes. So this is massive for Jungers. Okay.
Yeah.
He was quoted, like I said, he was quoted as saying that Asher's coming into the race perfectly, and he wasn't lying, was he? Wow. I mean, that's the thing with fillies sometimes is that they can be a little rambunctious, and especially going into the gate. But she seemed fine into the gate, and she ran huge. She dominated that group, guys. By the way, that wasn't even close. She won easily.
Yeah, I was more happy with the 7-2, and then of course we got bet down to 5-2. But I'll take it otherwise. Jim's going to pop back on here for the next race, and I just kind of lasered in on what he was saying, and that kind of skewed me in terms of what I saw on the system here. And
wait, Anthony got the trifecta, guys. Who got third in the race?
The 8, 5, 10, 8.
5.
Tripay,
okay, here we go. It
194.95.
194 for a freaking 50-cent trifecta. That's a huge payout there.
Almost
all thanks to
401.
2 of the favorites, and Flying Sophia got 4th. That's insane. Congratulations, Anthony. That's awesome. Hopefully you had it a few times.
All right, we're on to race 9, guys.
3 more races to go. We can play a pick 3. We can play. We can play a pick 4 as well.
Yeah.
Yep. This race goes official. Once we get the screen up here, we will wait for Jim to pop back on. This will be the last time he will be with us, he said, because he'll have a few things to do at the end of the night. But
we're just gonna go. We'll just go straight to it. We'll hammer out the 9th, 10th, and 11th. He started talking about Visa. He thought Visa, guys. He thought Visa had some legitimate excuses. The horse fell to its knees last time out. Was 64% to win. Didn't win. Here's my thing with Visa. The horse was 68% to win 3 back and got second and lost the race from an outside post. I don't know. And that was against a 64 group. This is against a 78 group. I can't be down with Visa. I just can't get down with this one.
You're more of a
MasterCard, maybe?
guy.
MasterCard, Scotty, Discover, or American Express?
I have to go with American Express, brother. And
Okay.
the black version of the American Express.
Love it.
So what were you saying, Oldie, about the one?
I was making the same MasterCard joke
Oh, okay.
as Chris. He just beat me to it. But and I think that just comes from us having done too many shows. I'm sure Justin could have predicted one of us was going to say that too. But I gotta put myself on mute for a couple minutes. I gotta talk to the wife for a second. So
Okay.
I will let you guys go through the pick 4 here.
Sounds good. All right. Well, we talked about this, guys. Justin, it's not that we didn't like the 5. I think we did like the 5 a lot, but I mean, who knew that the 5 was going to be that good? That was the one I was worried about. You know what's amazing, and I reference this when I talk about pick 6s. The horses that I have no problem leaving out horses, whether they're favorites or not, that I can see. But when you're looking at a horse like the 5 and you can't see it, it's those that beat you. And in retrospect, maybe we could see the 2. I felt very confident that the 8 could beat the 2 and the 7, but I wasn't sure about the 5, right? And in retrospect, we were probably supposed to use, because of that reason, we were supposed to use the 5 and the 8.
Oh, and the pick 5 in your pick 5 ticket. Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I
No,
could
you
see
know
that.
it's true.
I'm
Not because the 5 is any better than the 2, not because the 5 is any better than the 7. Because I felt like I had the measure of the 2 and the 7 with the 8, but I wasn't sure about the 5.
Yeah.
And when you have that feeling, when you ever feel that way, you're supposed to use that horse. And I know better.
Yeah.
But you convinced me to have a drink, and I wasn't thinking properly.
I thought she was the single of the sequence, but
I did too.
maybe the single was here in KJ Desperado. The problem is that I 100% agree with Jim that he's a jet one. Scotty, I absolutely love in this race the 4 horse, and currently at 21-1 off a 6-1 EE morning line. But KJ Desperado, I mean, is the real deal in the 2. Maybe that's
guys.
for the
This
single.
is a grade 1 race. That horse barely won a $58,000 state bred, non-graded stakes race.
State bred. This is state bred. I know. I mean, Steinbach, Rivera rides. I mean, top job, top trainer. Like, this is. He's a jet one.
Top trainer. Steinbach's 13%. Not top
one of
trainer.
the top trainers at the meet. Yes, at Lone Star. Yes, Steinbach. I'm just telling you what the numbers tell you at Lone Star at the meeting.
Okay, you're telling me a horse like the 4 that has 3 wins, the 1 has 2 wins, the 9 has 3 wins. These are some of the top contenders, and combined they have 8 wins going 440 yards at the distance. And the 2 horse KJ Desperado has 8 wins and 4 second place finishes in 14 tries. The horse is an absolute monster.
KJ Desperado is a monster. I don't disagree at all. I mean, KJ Desperado, look at all the grade 1s, Scotty. Won the Texas Classic Derby, won the Ruidoso Derby, won the Texas Classic Futurity. I mean, KJ Desperado loves Lone Star, man. I mean, he is the real deal as an Arizona bred. I think, as Jim said, though, and I on Thursday, I put this horse on top and I put he's a jet one underneath. It was 2-4. I think just the question is going to be, is KJ Desperado, going downhill like Jim mentioned? Is the prime in the past?
Yeah.
But Again, if anybody beat the 2, in my opinion, it's not Visa. Visa not going to be the one. I can't get down with the horse that's burned money, is stepping up in SOR now, and then facing a horse like the 2. Like I can't. Not at 2-1. But I think the race does go through KJ Desperado. I really do.
Well,
What about the
Visa,
second pick, guys?
Visa I'm sorry, Chris. Visa, though, before Jim left, was saying he believes in this horse. This horse actually got second in the All-American Derby. So this year, that's pretty impressive. Can I tell you what is really impressive to me is Visa broke absolutely terrible in its last race in the trial, right? And still qualified for this race. But what's even more impressive, and I'm a fan. Toby Keaton, I know, is a very good trainer, but Candosa, who's only a 13% jockey, he keeps Candosa on this horse, even though Candosa was aboard last time out and the horse like stumbled and broke last. So it's pretty impressive to stick with your jockey.
Looks like all the money is going on those 2 horses as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Jet 1 is 11%, even though that just goes to show you how tough the race is. But guys, let me read this to you. The 4-horse he's a Jet 1 was 73%, 22%, 24%, 41, 40, and 33% in its last 6 races. And it's 11% today. I pass.
Taking a pass.
Taking a pass.
Let's talk about the 9, second pick.
Something about that horse, guys. I don't trust that horse. Justin, what do you think about the 9 Atressa Eagle?
You're muted, Justin.
You're muted. There we go.
No, you're muted again.
Wiz likes the 9.
Wiz likes the 9. I don't trust this horse.
Why not?
I can't get off mute. Off mute. Sorry. It wouldn't let me off. I was like pressing the button. It would. I thought the Scotty picks had this race now. I think the 9-up player. From A Trace of Eagle. I mean, Willis has Soto here aboard. Won a 70 last out. Coming, I think, a different route. Coming over from Remington Park. Won over Allowance, got a race on the track here last month in October, and then ran a grade 1 there. So, I 100% think fits with this group. I mean, again, if KJ Desperado, Visa doesn't run and KJ Desperado, is on the downhill. This is, again, I have the 4 to beat over the 9, but I have this horse as 3rd or 4th pick.
Okay. Let's bring Jim back in here real quickly since he just popped back on. Jim, we're getting to the Refrigerator Stakes here. The Refrigerator Champion Stakes, one of my all-time favorite quarter horses back in the day. This horse was active back from 1990 to 95. Just an absolute beast. Happy that you guys named the stakes race after him. What do you think about this race? Can you hear me, Jim?
Yes. Yeah, I think the internet is struggling here as we hit the peak of the crowd.
Nice.
Jimmy,
I have a couple of minutes if you want.
Go ahead.
We were just asking you what you thought about this 9th race, Jimmy.
Oh, the upcoming 9th. Okay, let me I think I turned the page on that. Hang on just a sec. Yeah, this is the race we were talking about earlier with Visa and KJ Desperado. I see the early money really coming in on KJ Desperado. And I mean, he's been so spectacular for so long, but I'm just not sure that this year has exactly been his best. Of course, he never shows up unless it's a grade 1 race. I mean, that's all he really runs in. I'm still going to take a shot on Visa down inside. My selections tonight have been victimized with some bad starts and just the way it goes, bad luck. But I'm going to stick with Visa, and he's a Jet 1 as kind of a sentimental pick, which is probably not what anybody wants to hear, but he's so game and he closes so hard that I slipped him ahead of KJ Desperado. But there's 4 really big ones in here for me that I'd key on, and that's the obvious, the 1, 2, 4, and 9, a Trace of Eagle on the outside.
All right, let's get to race number 10. And Relentless Eagle, Dollar Bill, Shoeless, Fire Cowboy. Any interesting insights on any of those 4 horses, Jimmy?
Well, those are my top 4. I mean, in some order. I love the trial for Shoeless. It does look like he gave some ground up later, but I love the way he was handled by Brian Candanosa in that race. I think he knew he was on the best horse and was going to qualify. I mean, he was 3-10 in the trial. Obviously, he was on the best horse, but he opened up early and just kind of settled in like, okay, I got a race in 2 or 3 weeks that I might want to save a little bit for, even though in a trial, you obviously have to be careful about that. But I love Shoeless in here. So I'm going to take him. Relentless Eagle is just, he's a little like Asher, same barn.
Yeah.
You know, you go against them at your own peril. Dollar Bill is one of those that just, he always was looking like he was just going to be a little bit short. I mean, collecting a lot of money, running in a lot of nice races. But in the last race, in the trial, he was in with Visa, and Visa had a stumble for all time. So that really helped Dollar Bill in that one. It opened the door for him. But he's very talented. But Fire Cowboy's another one. He just sneaked in 10th. But as long as you get in, you have a chance. And his breeding is solid, and his performances have been very good too. So those are my top 4. But I'm going to try a Shoeless in this spot. And I just think that, you know, his All-American Derby was spectacular, and that a race like that really gets my attention.
All right. And then in the last race, we got the 11th race. Diaz and Urieta are teamed up to win they teamed up to win the Dash for Cash. What do you think of their chances here on the 6th horse with DK Marnie Jess?
Oh, I mean, a lot. I think, you know, if FDD Dreams hadn't done what he did in his trial and set a track record, I think we'd be looking at her as the superstar. We certainly were going into the Dash for Cash trials, and then in the Dash for Cash Futurity as well, where she went off as the 6-5 favorite. And it was just kind of a flat performance. There was nothing wrong with it in the Dash for Cash Futurity. It was just, and she was only beaten 3/4 of a length, but it just wasn't quite her night. And that's the only blemish on her record. So, I mean, she's brilliant. She was a very powerful trial winner, led from the first jump. She's magnificent. I like Aguila Rapida also in there. He's my second pick. His trial was really impressive, and it was the very first race of the night. And it's anecdotal, but I just think a lot of times you don't necessarily see the best trial performance in race 1. Maybe as the night wears on or the day wears on, the track tightens up a little or the wind lays down a little. But, you know, he came out and just absolutely blazed them in the first trial. So I like him, but I couldn't go against, for public pick purposes, against FDD Dreams. Just so unbelievably solid in that trial. But DK Marnie Jess, if you like her, I would never dissuade you because she is super good. Hey, they're coming on the track. But
all right, Jimmy.
I really appreciate you guys asking me on tonight, and I hope things are going well, and I hope you have a good evening.
You do the same, Jimmy. We wish you all the best. Enjoy the rest of the night, okay? Good luck.
Well, thanks a lot. Good to see you guys again.
Okay, you too.
Take it easy.
Jim Byers, everybody, race caller for Lone Star Park, and Jimmy's been doing it a long time. One of the good guys, too, in horse racing, no joke, not just saying that. I wanted to ask him, but he didn't have any time, but I wanted to ask him about Michievelli. Guys, this is our top pick in 26%. Remember, these algorithms are separate. They don't look at the same things. They have no idea what the other one is doing. And the fact that Michievelli is 26% to win and also the top EquinEdge pick has a huge pace number. Obviously, you can see that. This is a $910,000 race, but it also has the top trainer, Diaz. Duran stays here on this or jumps on this horse. He wasn't aboard for the Dash for Cash Futurity, but he's back aboard. Oldie, I'd love to hear your opinion on Michievelli.
Yeah, so Michievelli tied top pace, top win, and top pick. So, you know, when you see those things all together, that's something that should make you look twice at a horse. And I think that being towards that outside post, I think, is an advantage here. I think that this horse just missed in the dash for cash. I think that the concern has to be, again, the break. But if you get a decent break out of this horse, there's no reason why you can't get this horse at a big price at 26% on the win line.
Justin, the 6-horse DK Marnie Jess and Michiavelli, both trained by Juan Diaz, they both come out of the dash for cash. I was really impressed. This race came up for us, anyways, on the SOR, more highly rated than the All-American Futurity did. But I couldn't separate the 6 and the 9. I watched the race. They both broke good, believe it or not. I know it says 7th for Michiavelli, but they were right there at the end, and they were within a neck of each other. There's no way I would be picking a number if I tried to choose between the 9 and the 6.
Yeah, I agree with you. I know on Thursday I put the 6 on top. She just looks special. And I know there's a lot to talk about on DK Marnie Jess, because they were talking about her as she went into that dash for cash. And as Jim mentioned, she showed up a little bit maybe flat. But Machiavelli, Duran ends up riding here, which I thought is very strange because he had rode the 6 so much. But Diaz gets his top 2 jocks on both of them. I love the Scotty picks exacta in this race, Scotty. I really do. I'm gonna play against FDD Dreams, and I think that Juan Diaz is gonna get the win with the 6 or 9. In my opinion, I think it's going to be one of them, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right, let's go ahead, Oli.
I didn't say, but I will say that I'm just gonna throw out on Rodriguez that he's only 8% off the layoff, and both the 5 and 3 come in off that layoff. And I also would invite you to watch the race sim because I think the results are very interesting.
Yeah, let's actually watch that, Chris. Why don't we do that? Let's see what the race simulator shows. If you can sort these by post position, that would be great. Thank you.
We got 4 minutes to race 9.
So the 3-horse, and this was my top pick in the race, but I started second guessing myself a little bit, guys. I mean, this horse comes out of the All-American Futurity. In fact, both of Xavier Rodriguez's horses come out of the All-American Futurity, which is obviously one of the biggest quarter horse races in the world, if not the. But Painted Eclipse is the interesting to me that this horse was the second EquinEdge pick, but also 7-1 on the EE morning line in such a wide open race. I would love to know your opinion on this, Justin.
Well, I mean, you have the coming out of the All-American Futurity, right? I mean, and so when you see that, I mean, did run 4th, bore out early was the trouble line I saw, Scotty. So
I watched that, Justin, by the way, real quickly. I watched that.
Mm-hmm.
Bore out is super aggressive. The horse drifted out a little bit, but it wasn't a bore out.
Yeah. But when you go back at 440, he ran well in a 74. I think it's definitely a sneaky play. That's why I like in the exacta. It's strange because Scotty, FDD Dreams also came out of the All-American Futurity, and for whatever reason, the race sim has the 3 coming up over top. I don't know if there's, most people would be like, how would you get to that horse? And Scotty, the only way for me would be really the race sim, to be honest. I mean, I probably wouldn't have that horse on top just versus this competition, but Painted Eclipse, I mean, I bet you get such a great price too. You're probably getting 15 to 20 to 1 would be my guess.
All right, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I keep going back and forth on this horse. You know, the times are definitely slower than the 5. They're both coming off a long layoff, and the trainer's only 8% off the layoff. And you know, for me, those are the two things I'm looking most closely at. But I think that, you know, at the price, it's hard not to use.
Yeah. Guys, do we want to do a pick 4? If so, what would that look like, Chris? For me, it might be the 1, 2, 4, 9 in here with the 6, 7 with 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. Maybe do it like an $80 pick 4, because I think that last race might pay as well. And I mean, obviously, and Jim kind of alluded to it, but the one horse is a solid player in this first leg, Visa. And KJ Desperado, he mentioned this too, and I thought the same thing. I'm not sure that this is the same horse. It just runs in grade 1s. I mean, but it got first last time out, but there was only 6 other horses in the race. I don't know. I trust of Eagle. There's something about this horse I didn't trust, but Justin, you thought this horse was decent as well.
Yeah, it would be a use for me in the pick 4. I like trying to beat Visa here, though. I really do.
I agree with you, by the way. Oldie, I love your take on this, but Visa was 68% lost, 64%.
Yeah.
I don't even want to give that. That's not fair to that horse because he broke so badly in the last race. But I don't know. I mean, prior to the last race, had 3 second-place finishes in a row by a quarter of a length.
Yeah, I mean, my note says Burns money on Visa. And, you know, if I'm not going to use Visa, I might think about taking a shot with the 5 here and adding the 5 to the ticket.
I got a question. The Burns money contract. I mean, the horse is the favorite 3 in a row. I mean, money burns to me. Only two jobs there, but
the horse has not won since July, Chris.
I get that, but
and was the favorite 2 of those 4 times, and
not just the favorite, right? Oldie, the big favorite.
Yeah,
and had the outside post in the trial on August 11th and lost. And now draws the rail, which can be good or bad. If you break decent, then it's great to be on the rail. But if you're not a great breaker, it's not a good place to be. But I look at Anthony is a fantastic handicapper. I couldn't disagree with him more. But this 4-horse, he's a Jet 1, was like 16-1 just 5 minutes ago, and now is getting bet to 9-2. I don't like this horse, but this horse did win a grade 2-3 back, and maybe KG Desperado is not the best version of himself anymore, although he's got 16 wins. How many horses have a resume like the 2-horse KG Desperado? Let's see here. 16 wins in 26 races for $3.2 million earned, and 8 wins at this distance. And that's pretty amazing. But only has 4 races this year, guys, as they're loading into the gate. Oldie, last words.
KJ Desperado in post 2.
I think that, you know, ignore the 5 at your own risk here and maybe use underneath.
KJ for a while.
Chris is saying
currently 9
4
or 9 to win.
At 22-1, you know, the 5 could make your try or your exact.
The refrigerator all in line. And they're off.
And the 1 broke
running
poorly
start
again.
for RG's Gold Wagon. He is out there leading at a length and a half.
Wow, there's the 5.
Desperado. Visa hopelessly placed on the inside. Toward the outside, he's a Jet 1. Way outside, a Trace of Eagle. Final 16th. KJ Desperado catching up to RG's Gold
Whoa,
Wagon.
there's 5 in your.
Good call, Oldie. 259. A Tress of Eagle. 2. Look at that. How about that? KG Desperado. The 5 got a flyer out of the gate. Great call. What good timing
Look at the
that
4.
was.
Look how far the 4 is. Look how far the 4 is back, Scotty. And the 2 as well. The 5 really stopped. But It was
Number
crazy to
2,
watch. Look how far the
KJ
4 is back.
Desperado was first.
But look how far the
Finally.
5
For
is
the
in
5,
front.
the
I think that's more
fast-breaking
poignant than
RG's
anything.
Gold Wagon.
And then the 2 horse,
Number
KG
9, A Trace
Desperado.
of Eagle.
Look at, I mean, this horse just like what
Fourth,
Jim called
number
it. Like
4,
this
he's
horse
a
just
Gent
wins
1.
grade ones.
The time, 21.
Amazing.
0.350
And that was just
seconds.
pure class.
That was 2594 is your order of finish here in the Refrigerator Championship Stakes. You know, guys, we talked about this. I mentioned this earlier, but I don't know if you know the story. But the Refrigerator, the owner of Refrigerator, named Refrigerator after his refrigerator because he said the refrigerator was so reliable.
Yep.
And Refrigerator was the first horse to win the Champion of Champions at Los Alamitos 3 times, which is amazing, just insane.
3 times in a row.
Yeah, 3 times in a row, which is just unheard of. Believe me, I had the blessings of being able to host the quarters show on Champion of Champions. I think 2 years in a row, and that was just wow, what a blast that was. That was incredible. But 259, the 5 horse ends up getting off at 12-1, and Visa didn't run, guys. I told you there was just something about Visa I just didn't trust, and it probably wasn't fair to Visa because this horse has done so much. 5 wins, 4 in the money, 10 of 11 tries, now 10 of 12 tries. But there was just something amiss with this horse for me.
Yeah, and just burnt more money and break slow. And it's hard to, in these kind of races, when somebody's breaking well and you have a multiple grade 1 winner in KJ Desperado, it's hard to overcome those
race
kind of
9
things.
is official.
Yeah.
22 minutes to post for the 10th.
You know, the other horse
grade
that
1
I
Texas
wasn't
Classic
fully
Derby.
trusting you guys
Starts
was
the late pick 3. Francisco Calderon
was
rides
the
the 1.
9 horse. If you look
Military
at the
time.
9, there's just some horses just big win percentages, and the horse did have a couple of wins in those big win percentage races, but just didn't get there. And I really felt like the 9 was more of a minor player, but yeah, 2 gets the win. Guys, did you guys see that this horse dropped to 6-5 as your big favorite? Like that horse was like 2-1 going into the gate.
Somebody on the show just decided to drop it down. But KJ Desperado, Scotty, was all Texas. I mean, won all these Texas Classic races that are tonight. I mean, had already won the Futurity and won the Texas Classic, and now wins the Refrigerator tonight. So really a special horse. It just was it over 3 million, I think, in earnings. So
The only thing that throws me off, you guys, I'm not sure how this race got designated as a grade 1, considering it's a $100,000 purse, right? That's right.
Yeah. And I don't know how quarter horse racing does their grading either.
No, I don't remember seeing a $100,000 race that was a grade 1. I don't actually ever remember seeing that.
I'll agree with you there, Scotty, for sure.
Right? Yeah. That's super
it's
interesting.
Kind of low for a grade 1, probably due to the name and name only.
In the winner's circle for the second straight year in the Refrigerator.
But I mean, either way, nonetheless, that doesn't take away from KJ Desperado, who now has 17 wins in 27 lifetime races with 5 second place finishes, and has earned about $3.25 million. So what a nice career for this 5-year-old gelding. I mean, he's a gelding. He's obviously doing well, and we haven't seen the end of him. But wow, grade 1 race for 100,000. That actually, in 40 years I've been doing horse racing, it's the first time I've seen that.
Well, here's another interesting note. This is the first time since September of 21 that KJ Desperado won a race where he did not break on the lead, where he wasn't on the lead at the first point of call.
Yeah,
sure.
You're absolutely right. Good call, Oldie. Good catch on that. He's come close, but you're right. Well, no, one time it actually happened on 9/6 of 2021.
Yep.
He was in third by about a half of a length and ended up winning that race. But yeah,
So Dan H has a question on why Lone Star is not available on all betting apps. There are issues with signals due to HISA and whatnot that doesn't allow that on all different betting apps.
Yeah.
Way out of our control, but you can find that information on the internet.
Or if you want a short answer, we call it the all my exes live in Texas protocol.
There you go.
guys, also wanted to bring up. So I talked to Dave Weaver the other day, and Dave said, "Hey, why don't we do a show? And we might be able to do it once a week, maybe twice a week, once every 2 weeks. I'm not going to commit fully, but I'd love to do a show with you. And it's going to be EquinEdge Live. We'll bring that back with Ice Cold Exacta Dave Weaver, and we're going to do it this Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So hopefully you guys can join in. Also, Dave has a new website called icecoldexacta.com. Of course, Dave has all his euphemisms and stuff, which is pretty neat. You know, flaming wheelie bus and ice cold exacta. I mean, he has all that stuff. Am I missing something, Chris? What else does Dave have? Like, he's just like a walking meme.
He does. icecoldexacta.com. We pumped that on the Stretch Run show today several times. You can go get your swag there. All kinds of good stuff. So
yeah,
happy to
and
do that.
You know, I like pumping Dave. I love pumping Caleb Keller as well, because these are people that actually support EquinEdge and pump it up. Like, you'll hear Caleb talking about EquinEdge on FanDuel and stuff. And these are, you'd be surprised. You know, there's a lot of people that you watch on TV and you're watching that are using EquinEdge, and some are vocal about it and some aren't. And it's nice. But Dave is just a fun character, a lot of fun. I said, Dave, are you going to do me a favor? We're going to do the show on Wednesday. I think, isn't that opening day for Tampa as well, Chris?
Yes, it is. Well, we're going to try and get that video. It was a pleasure to meet Caleb in the paddock at Keeneland. Gave a special shout out to you. Misses you. You miss him. Yada, yada, yada. But a good guy. Dave Weaver, Dave and Mike Joyce, I started watching out 20 years ago on the quarters, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. Dave's with his $48 pick fours, always on the quarters. Dollar base, always good to see. But as we turn the page here to race 10, I'm going to throw Oldie up on the screen for EquinEdge. I got to take a quick break, and I will be back in a few minutes. So, Oldie, I'm going to flip it over to you. You ready?
All right. I am, yes.
There you go.
All right, so we're on to race 10 here. Scotty, I think we've talked a lot about this race, and I think, I disagree a little bit with you guys in your direction here.
Well, I don't think we're in the wrong direction. I know you like the 2-horse a lot, but I think we've all agreed that we've narrowed this race down to 4 horses. That's the 2 Relentless Eagle, the $5 Bill, the 6 Shoeless, and the 7 Fire Cowboy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about Fire Cowboy. I've gone back and forth. There was one time I was, I'm going to single this horse. And then I started looking at the times and they're not that good. And, so I've been going back and forth. And I know you guys like that horse. But I'm just trying to kind of challenge you on it.
But what times are you looking at? I mean, so the 2 and 5 have the fastest times at Lone Star. So if you're just looking at Lone Star, I can see where you're coming from. But Fire Cowboy hasn't been running at Lone Star Oldie predominantly. So I mean, it did run a 21:68 last out. But if you look there, and then you look at the 2 or the 5. I mean, they ran a 21:48 and a 21:43. So the 2 and 5 have run faster. Fire Cowboy 10 of 14 though hit the board in 12 of 14 tries. So
Guys,
comes
if we're comparing the 6 horse and the 7 horse for a second, go with me here.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the 6 horse who faced a 68 SOR group at 64% to win and got a 21:61 time. Very good time, but was losing ground and had a broke on top and was losing ground. Whereas the 7 horse broke 7th and went just a tick slower in 21.68. Now that was first off the layoff, was only 24% against a 74 group, and now jumps up to 33% to win and draws the outside post. Or draws it outside the 6 horse. Don't you have to give the advantage more to the 7? I don't know.
I just look at the 7 though, and in these easier races at Sam Houston and at Rutima, that this horse breaks slow a lot of times and then is able to rush up, but I don't think it will be able to pull that off in this field. That would be my challenge, would be, because it really, after the break, it really doesn't pass anybody. Just like
Wait, but the thing is, Oldie, for you to say that, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins in the last 10 races, and the horse went on the shelf after the July 27th race. So clearly something happened. But I mean, this horse is 10 wins in 14 lifetime races. The horse is a beast.
For sure.
Has only been 440 once, and what happened? Fire Cowboy won. So amazing price. I love the price here. 10-1 currently.
10-1 right now. That's 3-1 in the EE morning line. Like, come on, forget about it.
Yeah,
that's tremendous value. There's no way that horse is getting off at 11-1. No way.
Yeah, not with everybody in the chat, man.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's true. But okay, Justin, the 5 horse dollar bill, 8 wins, 5 seconds, and 1 third place finish in 15 lifetime races. But the horse hasn't had the one poor performance was an allowance race off a layoff, and the horse broke last. Mm-hmm. And but other than that, the horse has been first or second in the last 5 races. Dollar bill seems to make a lot of sense in here for Juan Diaz.
Yeah, you don't got the right jock. You got Garcia riding. Urietta's riding Fire Cowboy, which is what I like to see. That's why I like. But Dollar Bill, Scotty, all those races on the 5 with Dollar Bill of just burning money, and this is the same race. So I guess if somebody's going to run second, it's probably Dollar Bill. I mean, Dollar Bill ran 4 seconds in a row between those 2 wins. So I just don't like Dollar Bill on top, which is, again, why I kind of, and I think Shoeless is a legit player, but I just couldn't get down with all those second places.
And Oldie, what do you make of Dollar Bill dropping on the win percentages from 19% last time out to 7%? I mean, that is a really big drop. So clearly, but it's EquinEdge's second pick, so there's some confusion there.
Yeah, I mean, as I look here, Dollar Bill, maybe that wasn't the best trial field he was up against there. And, the drop in the win percentage makes sense with the increase of the SOR. Especially with the horse's previous performances, outside of trials. To me, but I just think we're not talking enough about Relentless Eagle. We keep, kind of dancing around Relentless Eagle, but Relentless Eagle's won 3 440-yard races in a row, which is the distance here. Almost always breaks on top, and did win the Dash for Cash, and has the fastest qualifying time here.
I agree with you, by the way.
3-1.
I agree. I agree with you. I mean, the horse is such an amazing breaker. First or second in the last 5 races. The last 3 races broke on top, won all 3 of those. And by the way, in 3 races ago, that was a 64 group in the trial, but won by 1 3/4 lengths, and then won the last 2 against a 70 and a 74 group. I agree. I think Oldie's spot on. Justin, I think the 2 horses, I'm going to play against the 5 horse 1,000%. I think this race is between the 2, 6, and 7. I think at 7%, and right now the 5's at 2-1. I think on paper it looks really good, but I'm going to bet against the 5 horse. How about you?
Yeah, 100% against. And Oldie, Relentless Eagle, I mean, I think is a valid point, but Dollar Bill taking all that money, Scotty, it's not for me. Not with all those losses. I mean, the time Oldie of 21:43 was great in the trial. You know, it's won 3 in a row. You know, I think this is in the Texas Classic Derby, it's a very tough group though. But, you know, Relentless Eagle, for sure, the real deal, ran last year in the Texas Classic Futurity, which we'll cover next, right? You know, but yeah, you know, I don't know why this system doesn't really like the 2. I mean, it's not in the top Scotty picks. Is, you know, 22% drops a little bit, but yeah, I think we'll be there. I just can't pass up a price though on a horse like the 7 Empire Cowboy.
But in the race simulator, guys, the 2, 5, 6, and 7 are within a head and a neck of each other. I mean, that's insane. I'm a little thrown off a little bit, but I don't know that it's going to sway me on the 2 horse being 9-2 on the morning line. But I don't look. It's the horse is 3-1 right now. I don't think with how competitive this field is, maybe we shouldn't be getting thrown off by the morning line.
I'm on the 7 here, guys. It's got a long shot. We haven't had one tonight, and that's where I'm going.
Well, it's tremendous value. I mean, a horse that's won 10 of 14 races, and you're getting that kind of price right now. Anthony likes the 2 horse. I'm actually getting more on the 2 horse as well, and because I really want to take a horse I can trust to break good. 5 is not a horse we can trust to break good. The 6 is like 50%. It's going to break on top, or if it breaks on top, it's winning this race. 6 wins in 10 races. And then Fire Cowboy, this horse, Justin, Fire Cowboy is not the best breaker in the world. In fact, just the opposite.
Yeah, but he wins when he doesn't break well, right? So,
but isn't there more a likelihood here? Yes, he does, but this is a pretty strong group. He won last time out and he broke 7. That was pretty impressive, going 440 yards. You know, I will say this about the 7 Oldie. The fact that the 7 horse broke 7th of 9 horses last time out and won speaks to the distance, in my opinion. The longer the distance, probably the better for this horse. What do you think?
I mean, the GSR supports this horse going a long distance, but again, I think it was just the 7's just been facing weaker, and I think that kind of lends itself to whether it's longer or shorter. I think it lends itself to a slow breaker who's just better than everybody else, being able to overcome that.
Yeah.
Well, look at what Mike's saying here. Lowest will pays for the DG is a 7, then a 2. 7's a huge overlay here.
Yeah, massive. I still, guys, I think the 7 horses is big, but I think I would go with the 2 horse, Justin, because listen, you need to break good, and when you have stamina like the 2 does, and you break good, I mean, really, the other thing I look at, look at what has this horse done wrong since that layoff, since it came back in September, being off 10 months. Look at what this horse has done. Everything asked of this horse. I think the 2 horse is going to be very, very tough, and probably the most reliable horse to break good. And Jungers is feeling it right now. I mean, he's doing very, very well.
So I have a question for you guys too. I had another long shot mark down here, and kind of like the 5 in the last race, the 4 Jagar. And again, I don't think this horse wins, but this is another horse that I think, and you can kind of see it, it's kind of fourth-ish with the A on the race sim as well.
Where are you seeing Jager in any way being competitive in this field?
Just looking at the race sim as well as
I'm just saying what Justin's thinking. Come on, Justin. Don't leave
as
me
well
hanging
as
here.
the 2161 time, is decent enough here in comparison to the 7 Fire Cowboy who ran a 2168.
I'm surprised. You're a
Yeah, but-
diehard EE. You're diehard EE. The horse is 1% to win. It's 30
Again,
to 1
I
on
didn't
the
say
EE
the
morning
horse
line.
would win. I'm saying that this is a horse that you should consider to use underneath.
Oh, you're saying for maybe third or fourth or fifth?
Maybe even second.
I mean, Fire Cowboy,
Listen,
guys.
Goldie, if this 4-horse gets second, I'll give you my watch.
I mean,
you would have said that about the 5 in the last race, Scotty.
nobody wants your Casio, but look, the 7 is like 10 wins, and I mean that the horse has been all over the place. Lots of yellow. Oldie knows I love yellow. All over the place there. And look at the race sim. It wins the race sim.
Yeah,
Who wins the race then?
does.
You mean the 7-horse?
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Fire Cowboy does.
Well, yeah, but yeah. Listen, you got to remember the race sim is if everything goes perfect, and the 2, 5, 6, and 7 are within a head and a neck of each other. So that doesn't mean you can't just go 100% of what the race sim says. It does win 35.5% of the time, but at 9 to 1 right now, Fire Cowboy is the value. I think we can all agree on that. I don't know. The more we've talked about this race, the less I like Dollar Bill, and the more I like Relentless Eagle, the 2.
And the batters are starting to agree with you because Relentless Eagle is now the favorite.
Guys, I think we need to talk about Shoeless before the race takes off a little bit here. This horse just is a trier, but it's not. I really don't believe this horse should be the favorite. I really do think it's the 2 or the 7. The 6 is a trier, but whenever it's been in some of the bigger races, it hasn't won. I would, for on the win end anyways, I think I'd play against the 6 horse. What do you guys feel about that?
I thought the 6 had a big shot. I did play a really small pick 4, and I used only the 6 and 7. I mean, Shoeless comes out of the trials for Keaton, kind of middle of the pack. I think was ran 5th in the trials, but does show up as top Scotty pick. I mean, the thing with Shoeless, I thought, to be honest, I thought this horse maybe could still improve. I mean, ran just a monster race in the All-American Derby, so I really did appreciate that from Shoeless, Scotty. And then won its trial. I know it was kind of backing up maybe a little bit, but it broke well. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but likely was probably one easy. I mean, it was 64%. Ran a fine 2161. Source has 6 wins in 10 tries. So, and when you go back to the All-American Derby, in that grade 1 is 76 and just missed and ran 3rd at 440. And then you go back to the Rainbow Derby over at Albuquerque and ran 5th. When there, broke out, drifted out in the 9 post. So
yeah, you're right. No doubt.
That would be my only perspective. I do think this.
But
is
here's
a
the thing
legit
about
play.
this horse. If this horse does not, you can see if this horse does not break on top.
Yes.
Right. It needs to break good. And considering that the 2 horse is such a good breaker, I really have to go with Oldie on this. I'm Fire Cowboy though is going to be in the money. So listen, in my mind, the 2, 5, 6, or 7 are probably 95% to win this race. So that being said, if you want to make some money in this race, then you would bet it's something like 7 to win at 8 to 1, or then you would go 2, 5, 6 with 7 exacta, and then you would go 2, 5, 6 with 2, 5, 6 with 7 trifecta. And you're hoping that the 7 gets 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. That's the way you would play this, in my opinion.
Do not give Holding a hard time. There's a drink named after a Jaeger bomb. Love it.
You can give me a hard time. It's okay.
Getting close to the gate here. Our penultimate race of the night. Appreciate you all for joining. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Good times tonight here at Lone Star Park.
Yeah, Willie, they have great tunes at Lone Star. The only problem is we can't play them on the show.
We can't play it.
No, we cannot. We
right.
get.
Chris, they're loading into the gate, so why don't we go out to this is the $330,000 Texas Classic Derby. Your favorite right now is Relentless Eagle. Oldie loves this horse.
He's currently the 9 to
5
favorite.
right now. Currently is your favorite. But we think the race is between the 2, 5, 6, and 7. And let's send it out to Jim Byers.
Happens to be all Colts and Geldings this year. What with the Purina Feeds Texas Classic Oaks mixed in here for the fillies, 3 years of age. Famous Eye Glory is in. Top Cowboy. Dollar Bill. Jaeger. Winchester. Military Time. Fire Cowboy. And the last to load is Shoeless. Texas Classic Derby.
Look on the inside of the 2-horse, guys. Watch the 2-horse Relentless Eagle break on top. Watch.
Shoeless heads in. Number 7, Restless in there. Fire Cowboy. They're all in line. And they're off. Shoeless was bumped hard and between horses. Beautiful start for Relentless Eagle, the Dash for Cash Derby winner. His uncoupled stablemate Military Time to his inside. Here's Jaeger. Jaeger gaining on the outside of He's Relentless. Relentless Eagle. Jaeger. Relentless Eagle to win. He's a double Derby winner on Lone Star this year, taking the
Scotty, I'm not taking your watch, so don't worry about it.
No, well, no, thank God
That's
for
2 in a row.
Eagle. But listen, you deserve a lot of credit for that call. Great call.
That was a disaster in the middle of the track. The 5 smashed the 6, the 7, the 8 got all destroyed. I mean, look at they're still banging into each other. They made that
official result first.
for
Number
the
2,
2.
Relentless Eagle.
Listen,
Second,
Oldie, tell me you bet that. You
Third,
love the 2 on top.
Lethal.
You thought the 4 had a
favorite.
shot. You just got 2, 4 in there. Tell me you played it.
Time.
I didn't play the exact.
2, 4.
Scotty, Dan watched your watch.
The time of 21.
Dan does why? Did Dan call the 4 didn't win.
No, the 4 only had to get second, you said.
You said if the second.
What did I say?
You said I said I don't like the 4 to win. I think the 4 could finish second. You said if the 4 finishes second, you would.
Okay, this is my.
But
watch.
I don't want your watch, so it's not a.
That's my watch.
Yeah, send him your Casio calculator watch from the late 80s, Scotty. And,
everybody's supporting Oldie. Why are you guys ganging up on me?
That super is going to, even with Relentless Eagle on top, is going to pay a mountain.
Yeah. No wonder. Like Dan Duran had the exacta for $4. Good call, Oldie. Good call, Oldie. Yeah.
And Alan says, sounds like Scotty owes Oldie his watch.
Yep. It sounds. I do. But listen, what you guys didn't ask me what my watch looks like. I don't wear a watch.
But
Anthony got the try for $1.
Anthony got the try. By the way, that's going to be a very nice try. A very nice try. Wow.
Yep.
Like, guys, can we guess what this try is going to pay?
The fact that the trifecta pool is 17,000, probably 3,600 for $1.
No. That's too high. I wish that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Are we doing a buck amount? If we're doing a buck amount, I'm going to say 1,600.
For a
Two
buck?
more live races remaining. The next one.
$1,600.
I think because the 2 won, I think.
$868 Texas.
I would
I'm gonna
probably
say
say
it's gonna pay. I'm gonna say $350.
826.
I'm gonna
Scotty,
say
you
three,
you,
I'm
you
gonna
want
say
to bet your
700 for a dollar. 700
you
for
want
a
to
dollar.
bet your other watch on this one, or
Yes.
you want to bet the right hand watch on this one?
I mean,
Maybe
the
I
thing
shouldn't be
is,
picking winners for quarter horses. I should be picking the second place horses.
So we got a 2K,
man,
2K, 900, 900.
Wait, well, you were all over that race, Oldie. You deserve like all the credit in the world. You had the top pick. You were
Yeah.
you were actually pushing us to single the 2-horse in the pick 5.
Yeah, I backed you too on
Yeah.
the pick 5.
Mike
Remember,
Soletta's
but
got
listen,
700.
and I wanted to do it, but Justin didn't want to do it. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Mike Soletta's got 780. I'm going to go Price is Right on you, Mike. 781.
Anybody going to go $1 in case we're all over and win?
Bill
What
is
is
think
Bill
going
closest.
saying?
225.
225 and 60 or 225? What?
Bill has been hitting the something to come up with that. So
703.40. It looks like
So 1,400 for a dollar?
no 703.40 for a dollar.
Oh, for a dollar. Okay. Boom.
It's nice.
And what did the exacta pay? Because we had somebody who had it for $4.
34.50 for a buck.
Not bad. Not huge,
No,
but not bad.
I honestly, I think that's that's low, but it's still a nice payout either way.
For
But
sure.
Oldie, you gave it out, so that's probably what it was.
Yeah, everybody listening to the show bet down the exactas and the tries. Is that the thought here? I don't know that they're actually. It might seem low, but I doubt there are that many people playing the top 3 or top 4 choices in their try, because you don't make money by doing that.
Yeah.
And they're small pools.
Dan is saying Bill is drinking some Jaeger.
Whoever brought up the Jaeger bombs definitely should do one now after that.
Yeah, for sure.
Anthony, 2 tries in one night. Good stuff, buddy, for sure.
Look at this. Keaton and Vivanco are 32% jockey trainer combination, guys. Pretty amazing.
All right, we've got our penultimate, our last race of the night coming up here, guys. I'll bring that up on the screen. Lone Star Park, race number 11, 400 yards, the $910,000 Texas Classic Futurity.
Guys, these are such talented horses. And right, I mean, the first ever Texas Classic Futurity was in 1993, you guys. Last year was won by a filly. I have to look up her name, but it was won by a filly last year. And pretty impressive. Let's see here. So let me start us off here. I actually put some notes down, but Hard to Politic was second race off the layoff. Toby Keaton excels with these horses, 23%. So something to watch. I mean, this horse is right there, second off a layoff. Is dropping big time in win percentage, but it's lightly raced and Polito stays. I don't know. What did you think of this Hard to Politic? Did you think this horse had a chance, Oldie?
So this was going to be, with the price the way it is, this was going to be my next horse that I think might not win, but you could use underneath and get a big price on.
Yeah, I agree. Look at it, won its first 2 races, and then it came back off a layoff and dropped to 300 yards, and it dropped down to a 60 GSR, and now it's back up to a 71 GSR.
And I will say, Apolitical Jess is my favorite quarter horse sire. So, and that they tend to like a little more distance around the 400, 440 range. So, it's hard to just ignore Hard to Politic if the horse can break out of the one post, which it was last time out going 300, but I think that was just too short. And the GSR seems to like to move back to 400 here.
So what is Anthony saying? Now the race I've been waiting for. This is that race that the morning line versus EE morning line is spooked.
Yeah.
I think he's been waiting to play the try in this race is what he's saying.
So again, but I'm assuming he's saying playing against FTD Dreams, the 5.
Probably, I would assume maybe.
Why?
DK money
Listen,
best.
Does it make any sense to you why this horse is 7-5 on the odds makers morning line? For me, it makes no sense. DK Marnie Jess is 8-5 on the EE morning line, the 6 horse. The EquinEdge long shot has a 99 pace, has the top GSR of 76, has the top SOR, and is 5-1 currently, guys. Pretty amazing.
The 5, but the 5 FDD Dreams, Scotty. The reason why that horse was 7-5 on the morning line odds maker is because it broke track record when it ran in the trial for this. So
yeah, that was 4 races ago.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It's actually not. We don't actually have the trial on here. I'm not sure why. It was ran on October 25th. It ran a 19.196 to break the track record. So it's not actually showing up in our PPs, but that's why FTD Dreams is the favorite. I mean, I think DK Marnie Jess probably would have been the favorite here because she's the real deal. And you know my thoughts on her. I think she's going to run her lights out. But, that's why the 5 is favorite, though. It just ran such a big trial race.
Well, I watched the Dash for Cash Futurity Grade 2 last time out. That SOR is an 84 in comparison to the All-American, which is an 80 SOR. And the 9 and the 6, which are both trained by Juan Diaz, is he really going to get shut out tonight in the big races? I don't think so. And right now, Michiavelli is 13-1. Something's amiss for me. Now I will say this: if you watch that race, that backtrack of that 10-5 race, the Dash for Cash, they broke where the DK Marnie broke ahead of the 9-horse Michiavelli, but immediately Michiavelli caught up, and then they were like right there neck and neck the rest of the way. I don't even know how to separate those 2 horses. But then there's Painted Eclipse, Oldie. I would love to know what you think of Painted Eclipse. How is this horse 44-1 right now? Well, like, what the heck is going on?
Well, I think. Go ahead.
Not enough money in the pool yet. That's why.
And so it did run significantly slower than a lot in the trial, which for some reason we're missing. Now that Justin said that, I pulled up some other PPs. It ran 1961, which is even slower than the 4-horse Curl's Magic Wagon. So that might be why, but that doesn't mean that that's the best that this horse can run too. I mean, it broke.
Yeah.
It didn't break great there, and I think that second off the layoff, that one of these horses could improve.
And the favorite right now, by the way, if you didn't believe in the EquinEdge morning line, you should. 15-1 on the odds makers morning line is the 8-horse Aguila Rapida. We had the horse at 5-2 and 18% to win, with the second top GSR and the pace number of 99. Also a horse to watch, and the horse currently right now is 2-1.
Scotty, I'm going to bet you your left or right foot watch that the 9-horse's name is Machiavelli.
Didn't I say that?
No.
What did I say?
Machiavelli.
No.
Yes,
I could swear I said Machiavelli.
I bet you both watches on your feet.
I'll bet you all the watches I have on my arms for sure.
We can go to the video tomorrow.
Machiavelli, though, this is a nice horse, but so is DK Marnie Jess. Here's the thing. Either there's another player in here or the 6 and 9 hit the exacta. Like, that these two horses are dead even. So I don't know what to think right now because both of them, the 6 horses 11%, but Machiavelli last time was 33% to win, and DK Marnie Jess was 16% to win. Machiavelli actually goes up in win percentage, and DK Marnie just drops. I don't know what to think, honestly. It's either just a confusing race for the algorithms, or the 9 horses just a big play in here.
Well, look at the money right now. I mean, there's only $6,000 in the win pool right now, right? This is going to get way tighter as we get closer to posts. We know how this works at tracks like this, where you're not getting. This is not a Breeders' Cup track where you're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in here. When we get down to post time, this is what I'm interested in with you guys. I think the 6 horse is going to be the favorite.
No, 5 horse is going to be the favorite.
Yeah, I think the 5. I agree with Old. I think the 5 is going to be the favorite. DK Marnie Jess, by the way, is a Mexican bred. You guys, I don't even know how that comes about. Sire Apolitical Jess, the Dam Marnie Joe, and let's take a look at this dam. No lifetime races, it appears. Not really sure where this horse came from, but shows up as a Mexican bred. 6 wins in 7 lifetime races. And that was a very strong dash for Cash Futurity. And DK Marnie Jess, by the way, was being headed by Machiavelli and really fought that horse off and beat that horse by a neck. But the 6 horse is a major player. This horse tries.
Yep.
For sure. 40 to 1 currently on Painted Eclipse.
I don't get it. I don't get that at all. Like this horse got, well, I will say this though. It's coming off a layoff for Rodriguez, and the trouble line says bored out. Promise you guys, that was not a bore. I'm really surprised. Sometimes they get it wrong sometimes, but the horse drifted out. A bore is like this. That didn't happen. And the only reason I bring that up is because if you like the horse, that's great. And you're thinking to yourself, well, the horse bored out and ran in the All-American Futurity and ran 2nd or 4th by 2 lengths. No, the horse just drifted out. So make your decision based on that.
There are your tracks picks at Lone Star Park. Let me hit that back up here. Jim, Rick, and Rodney all going with the 5 here. 8 in 2nd is the 2 out of 3. They got the 6 and 3rd pretty much across the board except for Rick Lee. So we'll get back to our handicapping.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the 5 horse broke the track record. That wasn't in the All-American Futurity? It was in the trial, correct? When was that, Oldie? That the horse broke the track record?
It was October 25th, Scotty.
Oh, October 25th, and we don't even have the past performance?
It's not on there. I'm not sure why.
That is weird. That is weird. Okay.
And yeah, the 1 was on the lead there. And the 5 ran the 1 down.
Guys, I'll be right back. I'll leave it to you guys.
All right. We got 11 minutes to post here, guys. What are your wagers here in this last race?
I haven't decided yet. I'm looking at the board kind of situation.
I'm not changing my opinion from Thursday. I like the 6 or 9 on top, Chris. I'd box them both. I'm gonna play against FDD Dreams. I know that horse is probably the real deal, but it's and probably in a good path, like Anthony's been talking about. But and I'd also box with the 3 just because the price with the 6 and 9. So I box the 3, 6, 9, but I like the 6 and 9 best. So that's how I'm playing it.
I like it. Key the 5 or the 6 to 9 and try box, and you get with the 6 or 9 on top with the 5 in there, you'll still get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All day
I mean
props.
the 9's interesting to me. The 6, and possibly using one of those two on top. Maybe the 1 breaks onto the lead again and gets caught, like in the trial. But I think there's a good possibility the 1 is right there with the 6 and the 8 early, as well as the 9. So I think I'd have to probably go 6-8-1 and just hope that the 5 finishes out of first and second.
All right, we're getting out to the track here. We'll take a look at the horses as they get out there.
They still look like horses.
Stakes races is low style, Mr. Walsh at 12:45 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah, buddy. I don't know. I'm going to be alive for that stuff. It's been a long week, so probably not going to be there. You guys want to do? I got requests for Japan, Korea, all different kinds of stuff.
Shot 10 running tonight, man.
Yeah. I'm not Dave Duncan.
Shot 10 the place to be.
Dave Duncan's been taking a 5-hour nap, and he'll be doing shot 10 and get up then, right? Like, we don't have those types of things here. So, Texas Classic Maturity Grade 1, 2 years old, 400 yards, $911,868.42. Don't discount the 42 cents.
Chris, why don't we go out to the post parade for these horses? Do you mind?
We're there.
All right. Oh, there we go. You know what? The screen is so small because I've got the chat. I just expected it to be bigger,
I have a comment there, and I will refrain from saying.
Good.
You weren't on the stretch show earlier. We were talking about last names.
Yes,
So
we were.
Justin, who are you settling in on? The 6? There's a look at the 1 horse. Hard to politic.
I'm sticking with DK Marnie Jess, Scotty. That's where I landed on Thursday. I'm not changing my mind. I'm looking for the filly to beat the boys.
All right.
And you like the 9 too, right, Justin?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, I'm going to put the 3 up in there too.
6-9 exacta.
Yes, I did play that. I played some 6-9 exacta.
No more bourbon for me, Mike. I can't handle my alcohol, obviously. But
could you handle your Jaeger though?
Yeah, no, I couldn't handle the Jaeger. That's for sure. I agree with Justin. I'm doing a 3-6-9 exacta box, but the only horse I'm worried about in this field is the 8. I think that you're looking at a horse that's been in the money in all 8 races, 6 of 8 in Aguila Rapida, guys. This is probably the horse to beat, to be fair. I mean, look at that. This horse beat a 70 group last time out by 2.5 lengths. Look how strong this field is, though. It's an 86 SOR. This horse is yet to do anything like that. This is just an absolute wide open race.
This is for Alan Hancock, who might be drunk.
I thought he was talking. I thought he was talking about me.
So
no, he was talking about him.
I went 1-6-9 exacta box.
1-6-9. You want to look at the 1, guys. Is the 1 really at 8-1 right now? That's insane. How is that even possible?
Well, I'm going to bet your seventh watch. The one's not going to walk. I mean, once we get down to it here, you got 4 minutes to post. These odds are going to get crushed, right? We know this happens at smaller tracks when all the action comes in at the end.
So that should be a new weekend preview segment, guys. I'll bet my watch.
I like that. That's actually a good idea.
I'll bet my watch.
So Toby Keaton, first of all, Toby Keaton's best shot is with the 8-horse Aguila Rapida. And I mean, this just looks like a really tough horse. Painted Eclipse is clearly dead on the board, you guys. What do you make of this horse? 7-1 on the morning line, 41-1 right now. Are we gonna, if we don't bet this horse, we're gonna kick ourselves, or is this horse just no good?
I defer to Oldie.
Well, I'm going to say I could make a hat, I could make a brooch, or I could make a pterodactyl out of that horse. But, I used it in my pick 4, which I'm alive in, which I did not use FDD or the 1 horse. So we'll see what happens here. But, I think we'll be kicking ourselves if it finishes 2nd or 3rd. Too, and we didn't use it in our exactas.
Yeah.
We're trying.
DK Marnie Jess. Like, what's interesting is, and it's mixed feelings because the EquinEdge morning line made this horse 8-5. I mean, that's pretty amazing. But yet the win percentage drops from 16% to 11%. And on the 9 horse, the EE morning line made the 9-1, but 26% going up from, well, a little bit down from 33%. So, I mean, this is just one of those types of races. But if you make the right call, you're going to make some money, guys. I have to believe no matter what happens in this race, that there's going to be a nice payout here. I still can't go with the 7 horse. There's no part of me that can go with the 7 horse. I think it's just because it got 3rd by a length and a half in the All-American Futurity. I just think that it's this horse might be getting overbet.
Alan, who's admittedly intoxicated, is going with the 6, 8, 9 in exact box. So go, Alan. I'm with Justin with the 6 and the 9 to win. I'm not monkeying around. I'm sticking at the win spot. I loved your analysis, Justin, with the 6 and the 9. Hopefully you get that 9 home, and I do have a small box with those 2 as well. I expect to see the odds in the 1 though drop here dramatically as we get to post, so that'll be interesting to see what the tote board tells us. And the tote board tells us a lot these days, right? So it's certainly something to watch in terms of how these odds level out.
I'm sticking with the 9 horse, you guys, and I'll tell you why. Look, at this horse has only had 7 lifetime races. I mean, this horse really, if you think about this, look at how this horse really improved going into that huge Dash for Cash Futurity SOR of 84. I mean, just ran huge. I think that was a very strong race. And I think when people on paper that don't have the SORs look, they go, okay, well, I'm going to take horses coming out of the All-American Futurity. But if you look at that, how's the 3 horse who lost by 2 lengths in that race dead on the board? How's that even possible? And, I think I have to stick with the 9 horse Machiavelli.
Well, I think you win that race, Scotty. You'll probably be able to buy yourself a nice watch.
Yeah, I'm really trying to understand how the 9 is 17-1 in the 10, who has never won above 350 and really has done its best running at 350, 250 range. Between that range is lower odds than the 9. That makes no sense to me.
The
Other
10
than it's got
horse
the
won a
other
non-winners of 3 lifetime, you guys, by 3/4 of a length. I mean, what has this horse done? Nothing. How the heck is this horse 10-1 and the 9 horse is 18-1, 17-1?
Yeah, and when you look at the 10 at 10-1, has done nothing, and the one who I think really has a decent chance is at 8-1. Right? I like the 1 way more than the 10 odds wise.
Maybe the owner put a lot of money down on it. It looks like it's an ownership group. So maybe they put a lot of money down on it, and it doesn't take that much in a smaller pool like this.
It's still, although I realize the one horse is like, it's like 50-50. Will this horse run good, guys? I mean, it was 37% to win last time out. It was a 2.5-month layoff, and it lost going 300 yards. And I recognize the GSR went down. But if you're going to compete in a race like this in an 86 group, no matter what, you're supposed to win that race. Is intriguing as I think the one is. And 3-1 is a ridiculous morning line on that horse. We've got the horse at 50-1, which I think is ridiculous as well. 7-1 right now is too low. I just don't see the one horse winning this race. Don't see it.
There's Dan's trifecta for $1 and another one for 50 cents. Good luck, Dan. Good luck, everybody else. We're getting close to the first time they're going to load. Thank you all for joining with us tonight on this Lone Star Park Championship night. Last night for Lone Star. We will certainly be back with them for quarter horses next season when they get back, but appreciate you all for joining. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to turn the sound on now and hope the music is off. It is.
Grade 1. In goes Hard Politics.
Good luck, all.
Current
And
favorite
shout out to
number
Jim
5
Breyer for
is
joining us
track
tonight.
record
That was
holder
awesome. Getting some
FTD
insight.
Dreams.
Appreciate it.
Aguila Rapida getting a lot of support at 5-2. DK Marnie Jess 6-1. DK Marnie Jess is in there. FTD Dreams as well. Fire Eagle and Painted Eclipse.
Fire.
Fire.
KJ Born to be Wild is loaded. So the outside 2, Machiavelli and Cowboy Blue Z. The last 2 to load, Aguila Rapida. He heads in now, and Curl's Magic Wagon.
Here we go. Good luck, everybody.
Curl's Magic Wagon heads in. All in line, Texas Classic Futurity. And they're all
Well, 3 ain't winning.
FTD Dreams
6
was
didn't
up pretty
break
well.
either.
Hard Politic on the inside was out
1.
fast, splitting those 2. Curl's Magic Wagon in the yellow.
Look at the
cap.
9 run a
Up
big
toward the
race.
outside, Aguila Rapida is kicking in a rally. Here is FTD
5.
Dreams off that track record trial on to win the Texas Classic Futurity over Hard Politic, who was again
5-1.
5-1-8.
Same as that trial that we didn't have in the system.
FTD Dreams getting the win here in the
Judges have
Texas
called
Classic
for a photo.
Futurity, you
Please hold
guys.
all tickets.
And
Until
broke
the
good, you
results
guys. The 9
are
broke slow.
3 broke
the
awful.
6, the 6 was right there. 3 broke terrible. The 1 broke good and ran huge. Hard to politic. And who is that in between those horses? Is that the 4?
This is a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
5-1
369.
third.
The 369 never had a shot because they all broke slow.
FTD Dreams ends up getting off at 8-5, you guys. Ran huge. 5-1-4-8 is your order of finish
Hard to
in the
Politic second.
$910,000
Curl's
Texas
Magic
Classic
Wagon.
Futurity. Wow.
4th, number 8.
Big effort.
Aguila
Big break.
Rapida. 5-1.
Some horses we thought might run good just did not run.
19.4.
Well, the 3's race was over at the break because the 3 didn't really leave the gate.
No.
Yeah. Well, good stuff, you guys. That was a lot of fun. Something different for us to get and cover some night racing, and I really enjoyed that. Chris, did a lot of work in trying to get this thing together, and big shout out to the EquinEdge team, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that Saturday coverage. That was a lot of fun, guys. What'd you guys think?
Shout out to Lone Star Park. They reached out. I contacted them. They reached out. We got Jim. They retweeted us. Appreciate them for putting together a good show here. and something to do that we haven't done before. And Justin, Oldie, appreciate you guys for joining in. Fun time tonight, and I think everybody enjoyed it.
What for you, Oldie? What was there a highlight when one of the races as to the runners? Anything stand out for you?
Yeah, I mean, there were several, but the winning your watch, of course, would be my would be my highlight. But no, as much as the 4 running second in that race, the 2 winning was really what I was looking for.
KJ Desperado. No,
No,
not KJ Desperado, but Relentless Eagle in
Relentless
the
Eagle.
Texas Classic Derby. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was just a lot of fun. Really enjoyed the 4 of us just riffing and having a good time.
Yeah, that's always fun. Justin, anything stand out for you tonight?
Scotty, getting to watch KJ Desperado win again, that was pretty awesome. Really special horse in all of those races. So that would be where I'd land.
Yeah. And you, Chris?
I'm just happy to hang out with you guys tonight, do a quarter horse show, go over the card. It was fun stuff. We had Jim Breyer on, and going through this stuff. We've got a lot of requests for these things, and appreciate everybody for joining and following along with us and betting with us and handicapping with us and going through this. Anthony, great hits tonight. Many people did well. Good stuff, and we'll be back with you next week. Scotty, we've got the Dave Weaver show. You and Dave Weaver Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be in the background. You and Dave Weaver, icecoldexacta.com. Go there, get your swag. It'll be a fun time, and we'll try and get some Tampa, maybe some contests. And I got people reaching out to me. Last season, we did Tampa and Gulfstream contests on Wednesday within our WhatsApp chat. And if you want in for that, you know where to reach us. We're happy to add you, and we do private contests there on horsetourneys.com. Fun stuff, good competitive things to work through your work from home workday stuff. So
yeah. All right, you guys. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday night and your Sunday, and we appreciate you tuning in and just being a part of the action. So don't forget to follow us for more updates and join us next time for another exciting night of racing. Until then, good luck at the races and have a wonderful night. We'll see you soon. Bye.